we're in Neptune Park this morning here in Virginia Beach. Start of stage 1. Yesterday was the prologue, 32 miles. The last few days, it's sitting around waiting a lot, just going through some of the logistic things that we need to before we start this adventure across the country. Now it's the time to really start putting some miles on. We're going to Zion, Bryce, those days that we do 3 national parks in one day. We're going across the Royal Gorge Bridge. We're doing 11,000 foot pass over Monarch. This year we've had more new people than we ever have. Over 50% of the field is never been on one of the events, whether it be the Cannonball or the Chase. They're a little nervous and just trying to fill into a routine. Luckily, we have some really great veterans that are kind of bringing some people in and showing them the ropes. And heck, by mile 160 today, I'm sure they're going to have it figured out.
1, 2, 3. How feeling this morning? You good? Feeling good?
Outstanding. We can't wait. Can't wait.
He feels all right.
Get the show on the road.
He's okay.
We want to go.
Yeah, he feels all right.
Yeah, we're ready. We want to go.
Cannonball.
This bike belonged to an old Indian racer, and I texted this to my ugly brothers that are riding Harleys.
It's like a bike race computer.
And that's the way it was with Harley and Indian, and we're having fun with it today.
What are we running?
A 1914 Harley Davidson 10B. It's a single cylinder. I named it Harry because my husband's dad was born in 1914 and his name was Harry. When it turns into a bitch, it becomes Harriet.
What are you riding on?
32 Harley Davidson 32 VL.
Look at that beautiful thing.
It's clean today.
Yeah.
Talk to me tonight. Last 2 months has been about 16 hours a day, 7 days a week, just chasing one bug after another. A little gremlin here and a little gremlin there.
Going through Utah, through the national parks, that's a bucket list for me. And also crossing the finish line in California. If we can get that going, I'm well satisfied. Oceanside, here we come.
We got some Atlantic ocean water carried across to inoculate the Pacific. We're going from sea to shining sea as we pass through waves of amber grain.
Dana Lasher, number 45. I did the last one, 21. Yeah, that was my first one. This is my second one.
Now, did you finish on that one?
I did finish. Yeah, I was out for 3 days though, magneto problem. But I did finish. I promised myself on this Cannonball I was just gonna have fun. No matter what happened, I was gonna have fun and just enjoy it.
You listen to this guy?
He's been through it a couple times, so.
Well, that should tell you shouldn't.
I didn't tell them anything they should know.
It's going to be my first, so it's going to be a challenge for sure.
Just getting to the starting line's a big effort, so we did it all and happy to be here.
I got a half roll of duct tape, some baling wire, and a fresh bag of zip ties. What else you need? There you go.
That's going to be
Moving, getting some fresh air, and just the anticipation of just getting on the road and going west.
We're all going to be here trying to hone those skills and try to make every mile. And what that means to get every mile, that means different to every person. However, I'm trying to get, when I use, size them up, I'm like trying to give them little tidbits of knowledge that I've had kicked out of me on the road and get that out of them.
I'm excited for the new guys because I remember back to my first time, and it's nothing like the first time. Your first time is your best. You're all pumped up. You're adrenaline. You're running. You're ready to roll. You got all these things that we're sitting at, and everyone just wants to ride. Want to go have fun. I'm just trying to cruise, have fun. I'm not on a 4-cylinder this year. I'm on a 1-cylinder. So it's you remember last year? It was a different experience. It's going to be the hills are going to kill me. So I'm going to stay in 3rd place for another 2 days, and then we're done.
Once we get out of town and all this 3 days of waiting, they'll start smelling exhaust smoke and instinct will take over and it'll all be good.
Great, yeah, we got the bike running really well, and I assume it's going to
continue to do that. We will endeavor to persevere.
Morgan, I'm in charge of Sweep 1, our sweep truck and trailer, and I can pick up 9 riders and their bikes, and hopefully I won't have to. We picked up 3 yesterday, and I think they were all new riders. We'll see how the day goes.
So how many miles was that?
30.
And they were already
35.
cannonballing in 30 miles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see how today goes.
That's
I don't
right.
want to. I'd like to end up the day with an empty trailer, but the first couple days usually don't go that way.
We don't know what it is. He lost performance on his JD. So neither one of us is great at JDs. Ryan is helping us out. Finally someone knows what they're doing.
You don't open those valves up, you'll never start. You're not getting compression. You need a little bit of space in between there. So you got to get some valve clearance there and there. Yeah, that's the wrist pin. Look between the valve and the lifter here, right? There's not enough clearance. You're losing compression. You're going to burn the valve. These don't have heart seat valve, gentlemen. As you burn them over time, they wear in. Take your time.
Yeah, take your time.
But hurry as much as you can. You broke a plug too, Bubba.
Tim told me to take the spark.
Don't worry about it. We're moving on. Check it. Okay, you're good.
I'm good.
Okay. Put a new plug in.
You've done this before, I think, right?
Sometimes. A drill bit case. This.
That one has the plug?
Yep.
Okay.
Now we're going to do a trick here called Russian Loctite, because these probably come off.
That needs to come off.
All right.
I need to use one of these.
Yeah. Since you got that knurl, we're not going to do the knurl up the thread so it doesn't rattle off. You'll be fine. Not needed. Okay. Let's get this in here.
I'll take that part.
Right.
Oh, there it is. There it is. There's the nut.
Yep. Okay. See? Part of this is like just being calm and like, don't worry, the truck's way back there, man. We're not going to test. Get your jacket on. This is going to fire. Okay.
I mean, it ran. It didn't never
Yeah.
died.
So we're going to proceed as if this is going well. That's what we're going to do. We're going to be fine.
get going.
Okay, let's give her wet kicks.
Prime?
Yep. Let's choke, prime, whatever you want to call it. Just get her wet. Again. Now let's go to warm startup. Unclick, because it's probably vaping off. Now try to fire it. Ignition on.
Giddy up. I'll wave you out.
I thought the roads were actually pretty good for the first day out.
Yeah, a little bit of a start, right?
Yeah, it was a good start. I feel like we got out of the city pretty good, not too many lights, and then all the roads were pretty. A couple bumpy ones here and there, but not bad.
Yeah, it was like right away. I felt we were out there.
Yeah, exactly. Usually the first day is a shit show of bumpy roads and lights and traffic, but it wasn't that way today, so I was happy.
Pretty much uneventful, dude. A good thing. Sprocket came loose at the very end. We got 60 miles to the gallon. I don't know, did we have any issues at all? Dave lost his light. We had to go back for that.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad, dude. It was a good first day. 160 something miles, dude. That was good.
Easy peasy, baby.
Oh, good.
Not a bad day. 160 miles of pure bliss.
I think one of my gas tanks is not flowing enough fuel. I think I maybe know what it is. I'm just going to swap a part and cross my fingers tomorrow. But I was able to like ride around it, but it meant that I had to go like this and switch a fuel valve 10 times, 20 times. So it was really annoying.
What's that?
I'm all over the board on my own.
Chris Tribby, rider number 9 from Caledonia, Wisconsin, which is just outside of Milwaukee. We had a phenomenal day today, 161 beautiful miles. We got caught in the rain about 100 miles into the rain, and it was perfect because it was so hot. So we just kept on going through the rain and dried off pretty quick. I'm riding a 1923 Harley-Davidson J model, so it's 100 years old. J model is 61 cubic inch, 1,000 cc's, 3-speed transmission. Very unique bike. It's a stock color. It's not the stock paint, but it's a stock color. All the 23 and 24 Harleys, every model was painted this color. It's called Brewster Green. It's a unique 2-year deal. This is not the original headlight, not the original horn, but they fit the bike. I just got done draining the oil after the ride in, so that's what this is.
How's it looking?
It's looking perfect. Every time I get gas, I drain the oil. So once you drain the oil and you plug the crankcase up, here's a little tip. You put a clothespin on your oil pump handle. So when you see the clothespin on your oil pump, you know the crankcase has no engine oil. And people come over and they're all asking you, what are you doing, what are you doing? And you start talking to people, you put your plug in. If you forget to pump up the crankcase, your engine's gonna seize up probably 5 miles down the road. You think about what we're doing, this Cannonball, we're putting on 3,800 miles in about 2.5 weeks. So if you try to put your head back in 1923 and you start asking yourself, how did somebody ride this bike in 1923? How many miles would they put on it in a day or a year? We're probably putting on 5 years worth of miles than the average rider in 23 would put on in 2.5 weeks.
I'm missing so much. I did 3 Cannonballs and I decided to be the crew member this year, but I'm so jealous of my friends, riding, and I want to be between them and look at for me in the next Cannonball.
We're in Greenville, North Carolina, on our way to Concord, North Carolina. 220 some miles.
This is the map that never ends. It just goes on and on, my friends.
When riders pick up their course sheets, they need to check to see if there are emergency instructions, and they could happen for any number of reasons. There might be a road close that happened since the day before, because we have a crew that goes out a day early and rides the whole course a day early ahead of the riders. Or because of weather, maybe a road is flooded, or there might be a detour. So emergency instructions are critical to make sure that the riders get safely to their destination for the day.
These are emergency instructions, changes to the route. So you got to go each one, mark it down on your sheet so you know what you're doing. Column C1, first traffic light, not the second, so that gets crossed out and you put first. Speedway is not at the corner. There is no speedway there. Cross that out. Boom. That's it.
There we go.
That was happening. Good morning. Well, we just changed the engine last night, so checking, making sure that the oiler was going after.
So you're literally having your shakedown run today.
Yes, exactly right. Yep. Confident we're going to meet and exceed the miles today.
There we go. That's it.
Situation going on this morning. As you can see, we've got clear skies and sunshine right now, but this is only lasting here just a brief little bit this morning. A severe chance of rain this afternoon, not even a 50% chance, 60%. We're up in a 95 to 98% chance. We told riders this morning, come get your maps early, and then as you're prepared, get on the road, no class start times, no nothing. We want to try to get everybody there this afternoon as safe as possible. You can't just have a good ride all the time. This is a true test of man versus machine and weather.
Hi, I'm Pat Olson. I'm number 151 from New Braunfels, Texas. I'm riding a 1921 J Harley Davidson, 61 inch. I bought pieces of this, bits and pieces of this Johnny Cash bike. Original tanks from 23, original fender. Got the motor from Bill Page out of Kansas, good cannonballer, experienced cannonball builder. And then I built the rest of the bike. So I put modern braking system on it to be a little more safe and have a little more control. I learned that lesson last year in the chase on a 34 VL. Didn't have very good brakes, but I made it. So pretty much just a home-built, cannonball, purpose-built bike just for this. So I left a lot of pieces off there that are original and just kind of made it easy to work on and simple. Like purpose-built disc brakes. Got that hooked up into a new master cylinder and floorboard mounts. Made the exhaust here, so I have a manifold 2-into-1 header deal. Opposite side carburetor, that's a Bill Page thing. He loves to do that, and it actually makes everything run a lot cooler. Over here, I put a chopper front brake on there, and then I adapted all this and made all this to work with this J model bike. Front fender from my buddy's shop. It's an FXR front fender. I just welded some struts on there. My wife Monica went and found the paint, matched the paint up, put a few dents in it. Looks great, works great. Open primary so I can keep my chain lubricated. I know how much is on there and it's easy to do, easier to work on. If I need to get something, I don't want to tear a bunch of stuff off on the side of the road, right? I'm a chopper guy at heart, and I got to kind of say I did kind of chopper this one out a little bit. It was a fun build, man. It was a blast. I built this bike right after the Fandango in Texas. I started kind of piecing everything together and spent July and August in my shop and just kind of assembled it and started riding it about 3 weeks ago to get some shakedown miles, and everything started working good and worked out all the bugs, and it was time to go. Ran out of time. It was time to be here. You can't do any more. So this is what you get.
Clutches, head gaskets. But yeah, just a normal day.
I'm surprised you haven't been tweaking on the carburetor trying to get that.
Oh, I tweaked on the carburetor today. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's a melding, man and machine.
Right.
And then the cylinder head temperature, that's all right up here, you know, and the fingers are extensions out into the spokes. Are the wheels turning around? What can I do? This isn't, it's a half a rev off. What the fuck can I do? This ain't like it was. Leaking? How could that be?
What? Huh?
See?
We're good, we're good.
Set valves, check points, check chains, grease rocker arms, that sort of thing like that. Wipe the oil down. It's a leaker. It likes to leak oil. He says you gotta be kind of agile when you work with this. Old Model A points and stuff like that.
Typical clutch pack stuff, or what's going on here?
Yeah, redoing the clutch. It was sticking today, it wasn't disengaging, so tough to get going and tough to stop. So some late night activity tonight. Okay. Critical assembly. Not the expert here. This is my first time ever to do it.
Oh wow.
So seek the advice of friends and go after it.
What's typical, what's extraordinary? I'm not swapping motors or welding or sandblasting anything, so that's a good thing.
Oil plug stripped and then just setting valves.
Okay.
Just
General maintenance. He was doing an oil change and he didn't need tools to pull it back out.
That's a close one. Right on, dudes. I hope you're not here too late.
Devin is ready to go.
We need
Had
to
my
stick it,
banana.
right?
I am ready to
We need
go
to stick
today.
it.
Rain or shine.
That's good. Here we go.
27. I get a
27.
sticker.
You get a sticker too.
Get your stuff and get out of here.
Get your stuff and get out of here. That's a different
Number one. Oh, we already got you.
We already got
I
you.
checked him the minute I saw him.
Okay.
start with, it's an 1909 Indian, and they didn't usually have different models, but there's no model for the Indians in, so we call it a single cylinder. So 1909, little bit, it's 27 cubic inches, 440 cc's. Indian was way ahead of Harley back then, dude. The Harley still have what they call an atmospheric intake valve, like Dave's running and like Banks ran. Indian was ahead of the time. They had a real push rod for the intake valve. So way ahead of its time. All chain drive. Those Harleys were still running belt drives back then, dude. Absolutely phenomenal. They were on it. Maybe an inch of front suspension travel, but look at this. This is what's really killer, JJ. They didn't have cables. We added these cables for the brakes, but back in the day, the throttle is all, there's no cables, dude. It's all mechanical mechanism coming down. Totally killer. There's a chain in here, and then you have a mechanism, no chains. So that's what all this is. And that'll run your throttle, and you can watch, see it pull the throttle on it. And the same thing on the other side, they have the same exact thing, all this stuff, and see how it plunges when it steers? Killer, dude. To figure all that engineering out back in the day, I just love it. I love it. Got a Harley carburetor on it, actually. That's a Linkert carburetor. The old one was what they call the soup can. Your all exposed valves. Here's your intake. Here's your exhaust. Here's the other funny thing. I had to, in 21, I needed a tire halfway through, and so I had to buy the tire at the Harley dealer. It's got a Harley Davidson tire on it. Things, this oiler blows off over to the chain. You added the saddlebags. Internally, it's all rebuilt with new bearings and everything inside. But other than that, it's pretty much a stock bike, you know? That's just the way it was. I have an open exhaust. They had a muffler, you know, for driving in the city that had a cutout that opened. I just leave it open all the time. So I just built this exhaust wide open all the time. It's a steampunk because of the brass on there, right? I guess. So we were joking about that. I need to get some steampunk glasses. Oh, I know what I changed, was the brakes. Originally it had just a band brake. I tested it, dude. It would stop one time, and then it would get so hot it would never stop again the rest of the time. So these are actually brakes off of a moped, front and rear, and that's where I had to add the cables for the moped brakes. You had to back pedal with a V-band brake, and it would literally stop you one time, and that was it. The stock brake. It would get so hot after one use, you're done. Today, 260 miles, that's probably all these bikes saw in their lifetime back then. You know what I'm saying? That's the original bike. This is an electric model, so it had a dry cell battery mounted right here. And I guess I talked to an old guy that said he had one. He says they would last for months or almost a year on one battery. I can't believe it. So I modified that and put my drill battery in here with this 3D printed part. So that's modified. That's it. But it's the same. It's still a battery like the old bike had originally. My grandfather used to race Harleys back in the 40s and 50s and all that. So that's kind of, I got the bug. I rode motocross back in the day. I still do today. So this is just right up my alley. I just love this stuff, dude.
Welcome to the Cannonball, Maggie Valley, North Carolina, right here at Wheels Through Time. Stop. Stage 3, I think. Lunch stop. These guys are rocking, man. Near a car over here. We got maybe half the bikes in so far. They had some delays, but the weather's beautiful. Lunch is good. They got some big grades coming up. It's going to be a hell of a day.
It was a lot better than the ride yesterday afternoon. Pretty nice. Great roads, great country, couple lakes, beautiful homes in those hills. We're at the Wheels of Time Museum, motorcycle museum. Great food, a lot of people, a lot of motorcycle, my kind of place.
Yes, sir. Oh yeah, they were making twins back in 6, 5 even.
In and out. Bought me some raffle tickets and everything's good.
There you go.
I'm Robin Andreessen, number 50 from Kennard, Nebraska. It's a 1914 Harley-Davidson single-cylinder 10B. And this is my husband, Buck.
My wife is riding it on the Cannonball, and I get to work on it. This is our third Cannonball with it. The first one, I built the motor and didn't do a very good job, only got 500 miles. The last Cannonball, we got 1,000 miles. This one, we're going to get more miles. It's a 14, it still pedal starts. She's got to pedal it to start it. And yeah, it's kind of where they were going just to get to the kicker. In the 15s, they went to a kick start. This is probably the last of the pedal starts. Front fender's original. No, it's kind of quite a bit of original stuff on it, but after 109 years, some things have gotten changed, of course. I got a later model piston in it, learned to put a lot of, and a good connecting rod. Really, the flywheels and stuff are original. We've got a later model carburetors. These had a Shebler carburetor, and they weren't much. And this carburetor's off a 1931 Indian. And they let you do that as long as it's pretty much antique carburetor, and that helps this motorcycle a lot. Just clutch a little bit, changing oil, going to put the stock sprocket on the motor, and air pressure, and make sure all the fasteners and stuff, just general maintenance. Now, she did really well. 2 days ago, lost the oil line on the bottom of the motor and scored a piston. So yesterday we rebuilt the motor, and today she rode 202 miles in these mountains. My dad was born in 1914, and we always wanted something that was made when he was born, and that's why we bought this motorcycle. And then Robin started calling it Harry, my dad's name, and she calls it Harry when it's running good, and Harry when it breaks, because then it's a bitch.
Hi, my name is Wojciech Kasperuk. I'm number 38. I'm from Connecticut, and I'm riding the BMW R2 1931 200cc. I think that's the smallest bike in the whole event. Yeah. Typical servicing. We're just gonna adjust some valves and stuff like that, but so far so good. Yeah, I got this bike from Europe. That was some parts missing, but I collected everything, and some of the parts, engine parts, were manufactured, rebuilt in Poland with friends, Paweł and Andrzej and some other friends that helped me out, and but I assembled by myself everything. So keep the finger crossed that will survive. It's only 6 horsepower, and on the hills I have to use a lot of times first gear, because but today the day was incredible. I never rode roads like this. I came a little bit late because I was taking some time and making a lot of pictures, so that's the reason why. We're gonna adjust valve clearance.
Okay, so that is typical. It's just valves and,
Yes.
and are you doing oil, any of that stuff?
No, we're just gonna wipe it. No oil. So far, so good. No maintenance.
I have heard rumors that these Allen, these things get loose, and I checked it before I left, and it had 6,000 miles on it from the first time I built it, and they never came loose. So I thought, well, they look pretty good. Well, now they're loose, so I gotta fix it. Hopefully because my speedometer kept quitting.
Oh, okay.
So the rear end's just kind of wobbling around back there, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, all these were about ready, 2 of them were ready to fall out. Well, I would check them, and they look all, because when it goes loose, you can see it, because it makes a little stain from the centrifugal force. And there was none of that wear when I started, but it's been going pretty good. I mean, today was beautiful, man. It was just, I'm not a big street bike rider, so I don't ride on the road very often, but man, oh man, the nice twisty curvies, you could get to be really good mountain cutter on roads like that.
It was a killer day. I pushed this little thing really, really hard. I got valve issues, I'm burning oil, yada yada. It needed maintenance, and I should have done it yesterday, but I was so tired after riding all day yesterday and going through the Appalachians that I just had no power last night. So anyhow, tonight we're doing our maintenance. Ryan's helping me tighten the rear wheel. We hit some gnarly dips in the road today, and yeah, just getting everything going little by little. So we do it because we love these bikes. I'm a diehard Indian man, and I want to show everyone what a little Indian can do.
I'm helping Alex. I had a hunch, and it was right. I've seen this before. A lot of times people are like, oh, I just had a wheel built by Buchanan. However, Alex is a big cat, and he's riding this rear clincher wheel. They loosen up on you, and what will happen is spokes will start to punch through and start to break the tube. So I'm going through, and I'm doing a wheelwright thing. I'm just using my wrench that I keep in my pocket. And I wanted to give him some pointers and insights why I think he was maybe having flats, and I found what I think is the reason.
The generator, so replacing the generator, changing the motor sprocket gearing. I wasn't expecting it. Generator had been working on this motor prior, so not sure why it decided to die, but I put one on a spare one I had that I know was good, so we'll see if that works and goes back together. I was up till 2 a.m. yesterday, so I'm hurting pretty bad right now.
It went awesome today. It was a killer ride. Bike ran great. Had no problems really. So it was awesome. It was a long ride. Twisties and some rolling hills. The tobacco farms were cool. Going through there smelled like a cigar. It was pretty cool.
You know, I didn't have any big issues with the bike today, and it seemed like there wasn't any big things to fix, so there was less work to do. And we had a good ride today. The weather was perfect. The roads were great. And the bike was running pretty good, so no big problems. Larry lost his way a couple times.
Yeah,
In life, or
I kind of had
on the bike?
Yeah, I had my head in my ass most of the day.
A little
more service work tonight than we planned, but that's the life of a cannonballer. Well, I came out of a turn onto a major highway and there was a lot of traffic, and I was wanting to make sure that I was lined up and got in at the right time. Anyways, made the turn and there was lots of traffic and there was a monster hole there. And the end result is I went through it, broke the headlight off the bike, and messed up the spokes in the back end. So we got those all back together now. And now we're just doing some other general maintenance, oil and all that. But it was a heck of a ride.
It really, yeah.
Well, we've decided we're going to go to Kansas and get us ourselves a transmission. Yeah, so we fought it for 2 days, and it's just it can't make the Cannonball. It's not up to Cannonball par. So we're going to go get us another transmission, and yeah, so we can kind of restart it maybe like in Wichita.
Okay.
They kept it gradually got worse and worse, and Jesse was just showing those gentlemen the parts that just slowly just failed. So throwout bearing, main shaft tranny, and all the grinding and trying to get into gear and stuff. So we've got metal in the tranny now. So we're just going to go start over.
Yeah, so this is fifth night in a row of engine work. Maybe I should probably start riding it a little easier. I don't really know, but I'm having fun, so here we are.
So how far did you get today?
133 miles. And first thing this morning, we were having some ignition problems. And we, last minute, changed our coil and duct taped on a new coil. And we rode 133 miles today with our Ghetto duct tape coil. So we're gonna leave that on there, and every time we have to do some hokey or halfway repair on this thing, we're just gonna keep leaving it there and keep moving on, because, you know, we're persistent in moving forward, and that's Cannonball. You know, maybe I'll get a sticker one day. But I said, you know, maybe I'll get a sticker one day, but I never got any for being good in school, so it is what it is. Never had a gold star, so why start now? And there we go, 20-minute engine out. All right, so we're gonna change this front stud because it goes into the top of the cylinder and it's got a small leak. And then we're gonna rebuild both the pocket valves, put that back in, thoroughly check everything else, check case bolts, all that stuff. Reseal all our intake, check the chassis, put everything back together. And hopefully if everything goes as planned, I won't be pushing this thing across the starting line tomorrow, I'll be riding it.
Dana Lasher, rider number 45, and this is my Indian Scout 101. 750cc V-twin. It's stock except for I put Sport Scout cylinders on it instead of standard 101 cylinders. Other than that, it's low, it's sleek. I've tried to only carry things that I absolutely need to keep the weight down and the weight low. I'm not a big rider person. I don't enjoy the ride as much as I enjoy building the bike. And this is a way to verify that I built the bike and it was a good job building it. If I can bring this 90-year-old bike across America and I built the whole bike, that's a good feeling at the end. I bought it as a basket case. It basically had the outline of an engine and the two wheels. That was it. So the fenders are new fenders, but so I put Sport Scout cylinders on because the engine was all rusted out, it was filled with mud. I actually had to take mud out of the crankcase and restored the engine all the way down to the crank pin. New handle. I made the handlebars. All the bushings on the bike I fabricated. The crash bars are fabricated. Both the toolbox and the battery box are my fabrication. So there's a lot of work to get it up and running, get it to this point. The seat, if you actually went on the other side of the seat, you'd see it looks a lot nicer because I started on this side and went around. On the Indians, the throttle's usually over here. I switched the throttle to a right-hand throttle so that as I'm driving on a regular motorcycle, then I get on this, I don't kill myself. Foot clutch, it took me probably months to get used to the foot clutch. The first time I got on the bike, and after I restored it and I went out on my driveway, there was so much going on in my head, I just rode right into the bushes. I forgot to turn. Yeah. And this is actually an Air Force aircraft maintenance van. We got it from an Air Force auction. We usually have it set up as a camper, but when on these trips we take the camper out and put the bike in the back and go for these trips.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Every time I get gas, I drain out the crankcase oil because it only holds about 4, 5, 6 ounces. So it gets used up. So 60, 70 miles I stop, get gas, even though I don't need the gas, and change the oil in the crankcase. It's fresh oil. Why not?
Thank you, Jay. There you go.
The fortune teller sees it's pretty dirty. It's pretty black. So it's getting a little bit of carbon in there and it's getting a little bit of whatever. So for the cost of the oil compared to the cost of the motor, I just change it every 60, 70 miles.
How about the taste?
It's like soup.
Getting a little warm now. In the morning it was cool. Now it's starting to get hot out, and bike's still doing good. Just gets a little sloppier the warmer it gets.
Richard Campbell. I run the cross-country chase a couple, 3 times, and I'm just here supporting, cheering on Todd Cameron, Mark Zener, Alex, all the guys here. Every rider here I'm rooting for.
There you go.
He's just getting a little...
That's not your name, dude. Tell
Well,
him who you
I know.
really are.
Yeah.
This is Mr. Other Mates. He barely associates with me, dude, with
getting
my
a little bit
American
of a
Iron.
high
He won't even
contact
talk
high,
to me.
that's
He won't even talk to me on this trip because I brought some American Iron with me.
The greatest group of people you could ever be around. There's no greater humans on the face of the earth than people who run the Cannonball or the Chase or all these vintage bike groups. It's more fun than you could ever have anywhere else.
Want to see a one kick Indian? Watch it not start. You there? One kick, Jack, one kick. Oh, hey, they got a phone with precision. Oh. You ready?
I loved it. The roads were great. They very scenic, and I had a deer run out in front of me. That was kind of cool. Now I did miss one turn today. Oops, don't tell the officials this. I went like 2 miles too far, turned around, came back. And that's a pain when you do that, because then after that you have to do calculations in your head. You know, it's not this morning, but yesterday morning. It took off when they let us go, and there was a group of 8 bikes in front of me. And about 3 intersections down, I mean, we're still in the city, and the road forked into a V, and 8 bikes went to the left. And I looked at the route sheet, and I looked at the sign, and I looked at the route sheet, and I looked at the sign, and I said, you know, can 8 bikers be wrong? Yeah!
It's great. It was a real nice ride
Welcome
day.
to Cape, Larry.
The weather was good. The roads were perfect. There was a lot of smooth roads, a lot of back shadowed trees, forest roads. It was beautiful. Beautiful day.
Beautiful weather, wasn't hot, and I'm matching Randy.
We're twins today, my Twinkie.
Yeah.
My Twinkie.
I'm Randy, actually. This is Brianna.
Yeah, I'm Brianna.
Yeah. Can you tell the resemblance?
It's dead end.
Heels down.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So we get here, and then we take.
Well, my name's David Reedy. I'm number 46. I've come from Melbourne, Australia. I did the Cannonball in 2018. Did every mile and loved it. And so thought I'd better come back. Riding a 29 Harley 2-cam. We say 2-cam for these models, not twin-cam like the ones that are built in 2000 and thereabouts. This was Harley's racing engine of the time, and in 1928 and 29 they stuck it into a special series of road bikes. It's really cool to ride it on this event. It's the only JDH I think here. Roads today just sensational. Wasn't it? Yeah, like just that's what this country has that other places in the world don't have, is these long twisty highways that don't go anywhere in particular, just go through national parks and bushland and forests, and it's just awesome. Keeping your bike going and the regular challenges of riding a motorcycle 8-9 hours a day consecutively for 16 days, and also navigating every 1 or 2 or 10 miles to a roll of paper stuck in front of you. So there's no Google Maps. She's Google, turn the knob and read your map. So you got those 3 factors. Personally, comfort. I think this is just as comfortable as riding a modern Fat Boy or whatever. I don't have any issue there. Endurance, you've just got to really work at it, get some good sleep, not too long at the bar, get your map in early, get on the road early as soon as you're allowed, and just keep going. Give it basically a full service every night. So just think about your modern bike, you're taking it in for a service every night. I know you plug the modern bike into a computer, we don't have that luxury, so we have tools, grease guns, oil, etc. I hope to get to Oceanside, but more importantly, this bike gets there on its own merit.
we getting into, man?
What's up, man? I got a head stud that's stripped. So I had a little bigger nut, so it was stripped all the way down at the bottom of the thread here. And so luckily I had an oversized nut, and I put the oversized nut, I moved the stud up a little bit, so I'm using a little less thread here, and that gave me a little bit more thread, so I was able to put a spacer in there and get on the good thread right now, but I'm gonna have to pull that stud tonight and put another one in there. It's Cannonball. I should have put a new stud in last night. That was my fault. The threads looked a little bit wonky, but you know, try and take the easy road, and it ends up not being so easy. We'll see you out there. Into the thick of it. Into the thick of it.
Team Patina Garage, Italian crew says hello. Today is a great ride because the road was amazing and panoramic and cool and was not hot. The weather is perfect, just fresh, so a very good day. And overall, it's always a good day when the bike is working. And I cross my fingers.
Yep.
107.
How many guys are out on the course right now? How's the check-in going?
37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 45 are in. 13 did not start, or either are on trailers that we know of.
Maybe you should tell them to slow down.
We get them, we get them.
Double check, double check.
We're fast, we're fast. Well, my name is Jay Wack, and we're here at Branson, Missouri on the 2023 Cannonball Run, and with a backdrop of the lake. I mean, it's gorgeous, and where we're staying at it's like a country club setting. I'm riding a 1931 Harley Davidson VL. I put it together from frame. It's like one piece at a time. Motorcycle, I've had it for 3 years. And this is, of course, the longest trip it's been on. Hit every swap meet from Ole to Davenport, Iowa, to down in Florida. getting parts, and from other sources. I went to John Newman's auction and bought a lot of things there as well to complete my project. I know every nut and bolt, and that's what makes it fun. Yeah, for sure. This is my first Cannonball, and I'm enjoying every day. One day we seen 15 elk, black bear, the curvy, great riding for these old motorcycles, just having a blast. The people is just awesome. You know, I put Road King back here, which, you know, it's a 1931 motorcycle, and the Road Kings came out 20 years ago, not 90. A little humor. Inside the truck, we got 2 motorcycles. One we used for a parts chaser, and another bike just for a backup. We're stealing parts off of it. My son's got sleeping quarters up top. We got a gang box. We put our luggage all in there. This is all our parts. We got enough parts to rebuild a whole other motorcycle with tools. We brought tires. Anything you can think of to keep the motorcycle running. We got our bike lift here, coolers. You can see we're
and a fan.
and a fan.
And a jaw box.
We got a jaw box. We got lighting. We can do it all right in the back of this truck. And when we're done, we give it back to Penske, and it's over with. Yeah, it's fantastic.
Going through all the valve adjustments, make sure my exhaust valves are where they should be, the intake valves. Normal routine. I spray my chains down when they're hot, and I drain the oil out of the crankcase, put fresh oil in it, get myself ready for tomorrow morning. You know, so when I wake up, all I got to do is fire it up and go. No humidity today. It was nice, comfortable climate. Ideal ride, you know. Yep, and I didn't see many people broke down too. When nobody's on the sweep trailer, that's a good day for everybody, for sure. But yeah, I can't wait to head into Kansas tomorrow and then get a day's break after that, which we all need at this point.
Phil Hines, rider number 174, 1929 JD. It came out of Lincoln, Nebraska. It was a partial, bent front end, no front wheel, engine and transmission and frames, what I started with, and everything else was hand-me-down stuff from swap meets and off of eBay. Wanted to do the Cannonball, so I had to work my way to restoring and flipping bikes until I could afford this guy. I got it in 2019, and I got it running about a year later, and I missed the 2021 race, and luckily I was able to get into this one. Built a whole bike. I did everything. I had to straighten the front end, come up with parts for the wheel, build the wheels front and back, the complete rebuild on the engine, new pistons in the cylinder, shovel head stuff, updated the transmission to sealed bearings, spokes in the back wheel. So yeah, I've built every stinking piece of it. One screw holding it on, the other screw's just keeping it in place, no filter. That's probably it. A lot of as-found parts on this bike, you know. Shiny doesn't fit into my collection. This is how the rest of my collection looks. So, I had original pistons in this, 2-ring pistons, flat tops, and it was smoking really bad. So I had to be advised on what I was supposed to put in there, and I put 1200 dome top pistons in it. And that was the key to success, I think. It's kind of like how the carburetor reacts. You twist the throttle and wait for it to come on. The bike handles the twisties the same way. You got to lean a little before, and then the bike will catch up, and then lean out early, and the bike catches up. So it's very sloppy. It's riding way up on top of something through the twisties isn't really conducive to staying glued to the road. But the round tires have been doing pretty good. I see a lot of these guys with the square tires, and they probably don't get in the corners as well as this thing does. But for the most part, it stays on a track, so it does real well. There's no brakes at all on this bike. They absolutely don't exist. You really have to plan way ahead to stop. The back brake is non-existent. We just tried to stiffen up the brake rod with some support here because it flexes so much when you hit the brake, and it doesn't. So we're just trying to get good enough brakes so that everybody's safe in front of us, and we're safe when we come up to a light. It's all period correct. Pretty much everything on this bike is period correct, except for the headlight. It would have had an electric headlight, but it would have had dual headlights, but they're made of unobtainium, so I didn't bother. I just put a gas-powered unit I found cheap on there, put a little bulb in it. I thought how better to see the country was to travel the back roads with the other group of guys on light bikes, you know, 40, 50 mile an hour. Getting to see all small town America. It still exists. Going the whole way across the country, when you say 3,800 miles, it seems like a lot, but 200-300 miles a day, it's perfect. Perfect amount to take it in. I love it.
Twisted Oz Motorcycle Museum in Augusta, Kansas. What a beautiful day. I'm sure the day was a beautiful ride for them with the weather like this. We got an awesome meal set up for you guys. Lifetime of new friends, challenges, and memories for the rest of their life. They have joined a family that will take them places they never dreamed of. Guys, thank you very much for using Twisted Oz as your stop. I hope you're pleased, and please keep us in all your memories.
What's happening, JJ?
Everybody from out here?
Everybody's from here. Bill Page.
That's right.
Mr. Page. The starting day, it kind of felt like I should be somewhere and I wasn't there. But then I've got some friends that are on it. I've been helping, so that kind of filled that void. Pat Olson, we're rooting for Pat. Go Pat. Dude.
Look at that repair. Nice.
That ain't repaired. Oh. Check it out, Roger.
We kind of let them do whatever they want.
Atmosphere, check it out. It just broke. Look up. Dude, I ran an atmosphere. You know, here's the
So it was working that way then?
So I saw it pop, and I couldn't believe it. There's the push rod, JJ. I'm running Harley style, dude. Dave must be onto some secret, dude, because it runs good. That sucker, the whole rocker, that whole thing snapped, and I saw it fly off. So I stopped. I go, I gotta go get that back. I have a new piece here, and I started to change it. I'm like, dude, it was still running atmospheric. So I put all my tools back. I said, let me try it, dude. It lost a little bit of power. It leaned it out a little bit because it was sucking air through there. It was lean, so I just richened it. Still ran 45 miles an hour, man. So intake valves are overrated. Huh?
Well, I was the previous Chase winner, the 22 Chase from Springfield to Santa Monica. I've ridden with a bunch of these guys, and once you ride with them like that, it's a brotherhood, you know, and you got to make all the miles. I guess you know, as bad as it sounds, you got to hope for somebody else to break ahead of you, right? You know, it ain't like the Chase where you got the quiz and you can catch up. That's how I won the Chase. I was the best guesser.
Thanks for riding.
Everyone good? We are. Another long day, hot. We're here.
Look at that. Guys, they are serving up food over there now if you're ready. This is Herb Ottaway's, the very first NN6 in the world. There's two of them, and then Jeff Roth had a third one commissioned, but this is the first one. Never been apart since 1960, 12,000 miles. Last month, got about 150 miles put on it from one of Kiwi's friends from Australia, Peter. And I rode it Monday over to our road run in the rain. So we do get this bike out. It's Jerry Ottaway's, him and his father, and it is the Twisted Oz is the home of the NN6. So let's give you a little demonstration here. This is for all the Harley riders out there kicking and kicking. This is the way you should start a motorcycle. Welcome to Twisted Oz. Hey, thanks, Joe.
What a collection he's got. Unbelievable.
It's amazing.
Everything. I mean, where do you stop looking?
This place is so good. I love it. How was the eats?
Awesome food. Needed the dinner. Been a long time on the road today. We just got done with an awesome meal provided by Kelly and all the people down here, the old Cannonball guys in the Twisted Oz Museum. Incredible place. We had steaks, chicken, unreal feed for the whole Cannonball support team and the rest of us. So it was a good day.
Hey, I want to thank Twisted Oz for having us today. What a great museum, what a great meal, top notch. Thanks so much.
Enjoyed everything. This is a wonderful place. Kelly Marlin really puts it out for you. We had steak, we had chicken, we had corn on the cob, we had baked potatoes, homemade ice cream. We had massages. If you needed a massage when you got here, they had girls over there doing massages. What a guy. Kelly, thank you so much.
Thanks, Kelly, for the awesome dinner. The museum's amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kelly and Twisted Oz Motorcycle Museum and the Kansas Cannonball Riders. We had an excellent meal, and it's an awesome, awesome place to visit.
Thank you and the Kansas Riders, Cannonball Riders here for putting on a killer spread for all of us riders. I really appreciate it. You guys always roll it out big for us, and that's fantastic. I had the chicken, and it was fantastic. Baked potatoes, some couple servings of ice cream in there. Kelly's always got his ice cream. I'd never seen the corn dipping in the butter before, but you know, it was good.
Yeah. Kansas riders for holding this big event. You guys are greatly appreciated by all the Cannonball. Kelly, I want to thank you for a spectacular meal tonight, and the museum is always perfect. Good crowd, and I don't know what else to say, except for that's it.
Cole, you seem like you're a pro.
No, I'm not a pro. It's missing parts, just like my motorcycle.
Here today at College Park Elementary in Virginia Beach, Virginia, with the All Kids Bike Corporation. We just got done assembling 23 little balance bikes for these guys. Here in just a few minutes, we're going to have all the kids come out and get a surprise of a lifetime. We donated these bicycles and half a motorcycle cannonball today.
We're surprised, I know. We all are surprised.
I'm Dr. Katrina Manigo, principal of College Park Elementary School. We are certified with recycling all of our water and our organic products here. We have one of our wildlife refuges right in the middle of our school. We are also a school that's from preschool through 5th grade. Our student body ranges around 500 students, and we are a Title I school, and we gear up and really motivated about innovation here at College Park.
I'm a College Park cougar, a singing cougar till I die. I won't stop studying till I graduate.
How was that?
That was fun.
Thanks, buddy.
With them we will be well known. C-O-U-G-A-R Cougars, these are the Super Cougar Days.
Hey, look at this, dude. It's game over, dude. Game over. Look at that piston. That ain't good. Look at the edge of it, dude. It's a little bit worn out. They call that detonation. Not good. Not good. Probably got it too hot climbing those hills coming out of Wheels Through Time. I'm sure that's what happened to it. So I have another one, but it's not as high a compression. I'll put a lower compression one, hopefully. But the problem is, like Jeff was just telling me, when we get to Colorado, high altitude, you want that high compression piston in there. So it's you're damned if you do, damned if you don't, you know? Well, the other good thing is Alex is out, dude. I'm not going to be racing him anymore. That was the thing. I was tearing it up racing Alex every day. We made it in 2021, the entire race. A little bit lower compression, pretty decent shape. So I'll go to a lower compression piston. Hopefully we don't see any more of this detonation problem. I wasn't going to pull this thing apart, but I'm stoked for this rest day that I actually got to take it apart and take a look at it. Scary, man. Scary. Actually, I guess lucky. I'd rather be lucky than good.
We're in Wichita, Kansas on our day off here, which is greatly needed by everybody. So everybody's just servicing bikes, getting a little rest and some downtime to just kind of sit. We've been pounding the pavement. It's been an incredible ride all the way from Virginia City. We had heat, we had mountains, we had a touch of rain. And tomorrow looks like a pretty flat level course. We're en route to Garden City. And right now, Todd Cameron's in slot 1 with an 09 Indian. I'm in slot 2 with an 11 Harley. And of course, for all you fans at home, it's Harley against the Indian. Everybody knows that. And I think the real deal is coming here. That's when we're going to separate men from the boys.
I'm Bob Ziola. I'm riding a 1925 Harley JE model, which is a 61 cubic inch model. Most people know the JD model, which is 74 cubic inches. So this one's the baby Harley back in the day. Restored in the 70s to the way it looks, and mechanically restored like 4 years ago, 5 years ago. when I first bought it. Second Cannonball, made all the miles on the first one. So far, knock on wood, made all the miles on this one. Everybody seems to be asking about this little bypass. This was called, I guess this was called City Country. So that would be when you're in the city, so you didn't scare the horses, you'd close it. And then you'd open it when you're in the country, you're allowed to be a little louder. And the funny thing is, compared to a modern day bike, this is as quiet as can be. It wouldn't have been chromed in 25. When it was restored in the 70s, I guess that was a popular restoration project. They would chrome all these pieces that originally weren't chromed back in the day. The bike was in storage in a collection, if you will, for like 25, 30 years from what I understand. So it was indoors in a heated building for all that time. So that's why it looks so decent for a 70s restoration. You know, the restoration's 50 years old.
Oh, okay.
So it's almost 100 years old. The paint's halfway there already. And then only thing that really wears out on this one for the last couple of years has been chains and sprockets. I haven't really done anything else to it. It runs pretty good. Funny story the other day though, this little plug fell out. It's on the top of the head. It was a primer plug. It used to be, it had right in there, that little rusty piece that's in there now, all rusty. Yeah. So it had this stainless steel one in here, this fancy nice one, an Allen wrench that I had added. And I'm riding along, and all of a sudden, something hit my leg, like a bug or a rock. But at the same second, all of a sudden I had air blowing out my leg, every piston stroke. I thought I cracked the head or something. I didn't know what happened, because I'm not even thinking about that plug. It's been in for 5 years. It's never come out. I don't even have to tighten it. Obviously, I should have tightened it. And so I'm gliding along. I shut the bike off, and I'm gliding down a hill, and I'm trying to find a safe place to park. And I see a little old closed general store, probably been closed 30 years. Actually, factually, it has been closed 30 years. I found out afterwards. I go across the gravel, and I jump up onto the platform under the awning so I can be out of the sun if I'm going to have to work on it. Not thinking that obviously some human being owns this place, and now I'm on his property. So I park up on the concrete, and Mark Hill and Joe Sparrow happen to drive by. They turn around and they come back. What's up? And I say, hey, the plug fell out. Obviously, I'm not going to find this on the road somewhere. It's only this big. What are we going to do? And they tell me, oh, it's an NP3 thread. We can find something on an old piece of machinery that had a drain plug, and we can probably put one in. Because I didn't have the right size bolt in the bag, because it's a weird thread. So now we're nosing around this guy's property with flashlights, and we're looking under his deck and all this other crap. And next thing you know, guy pulls up in a John Deere behind us. The farmer with the farmer jeans and the whole deal. And he doesn't look happy. We got 3 guys roaming around his property with flashlights, looking under shit and picking at things. Once we explained what was going on, he turned out to be a really nice guy. And he opened the general store to us, and it was stepping back in time in the store. The store hadn't been opened in 20, 30 years, and it still had candy in the glass cabinets. It still had cigarettes on the shelves. It still had supplies all around the room, and it still looked like fairly broom swept. It wasn't like collecting. They weren't using it for storage. It was literally like you could walk around the aisles in the store, but everything was closed. Whatever day they closed, it never touched again. We looked through some old machinery there, and we couldn't find it. We were just about ready to give up, and Mark came up with the idea that maybe a grease fitting would fit, because it could be the same thread. And he goes, oh, I have a box of old grease fittings. I never throw anything away. So he goes in and he opens up the box of grease fittings, and they're all metric for some reason. And he says, oh, sorry about that. Those are all, oh, wait a second. I got another box. And he opens up another box, and this one, the box is covered with grease, and you can see it's been used for 1,000 years, some old little metal box. He opens it up, and the exact one I need is right there, painted yellow, so it came off of a Caterpillar, probably some Caterpillar product. Little yellow plug in the box, so it all a bunch of junk. Literally popped right out at us. Mark and I both reaching at it like our hands shaking. We're like, oh my God, there's the part. We grab it, we bring it out, it fits right in perfect. The guy wouldn't even take, coffee money from us. He was like, don't worry about it. Then he explained to us, he asked about the bikes. We gave him a little history on the bike, and he gave us a history on the ranch, or the farm. His family's been there since 1806. Yeah, 1806. His name was Jim, and I got his last name. I took a picture of the sign on the store, so I know his last name by looking at the sign. But his name was Jim, Farmer Jim, perfect farmer, with the blue shirt, with the blue jeans, the suspenders, and well-worn, well-used, out on a afternoon doing farm stuff. I think these roads have been made for old motorcycles. They're narrow, they're windy, they're sloped up and down with all kinds of elevation changes. Within a mile, you might go up and down 6 times. And these bikes just love it. And this bike's been running like a top. And you don't have to go too fast, 40, 45, and you feel like you're flying. And that's what these bikes like to go 40, 45. So now you've got your brain's engaged, the bike's engaged, everything's going perfect. And very few side streets and very few little traffic. So whoever laid out the roads this year did a great job. The hotels have been great. We've stayed in all nice places with nice rooms and clean and nice restaurants. So this has been a super trip so far.
Johnsonville Brats. Johnsonville came in and sponsored here. We've got 320 brats, excuse me. And man, they're fantastic.
And the brats are made specially for Green Bay Packer games only. They don't sell these to the public. So we're getting a treat.
So my name's Jared Rinker, rider number 37. This is my 4th Cannonball and the 2nd Cannonball on this particular bike. This bike's a 1928 Indian 101 Scout, 45 cubic inch. It's running good, it's running strong. Case, we built this bike in the fall of 2019 and we built it in 10 days. We built it like as a joke. And you know, if there's 1,000 parts on this motorcycle, it came from 1,000 different bikes. Basically parts that we weren't going to use on other projects or whatever. You know, the frame's been broke and brazed back together. You know, the forks were broke and we brazed them up a little bit on each side. The stuff is just kind of rusty and crusty, and again, stuff we weren't going to use. This tank actually came off of a short frame Scout that ran on the wall of death. Bike never did, obviously, but this gas tank, a buddy of ours who still runs the wall, Rhett, he gave me this tank. The headlight is actually off of a later Sports Scout. The belt guard, instead of using an original belt guard, I had found an old porcelain thermometer. Most of these bikes, and in this bike included, would have just had a set of headers that came into one pipe with a muffler out the back. And if you notice, this guy actually has 2 exhausts. It's got dual exhausts. So if you come to the back, you can see I've got 2 exhaust tips under there, and those exhaust tips are off of a Piper J3 Cub, about a 1946 J3 Cub. None of the engine cases or aluminum was ever matched or set, and we didn't really do any type of machining to seal any of it up, so that's why it blows plenty of oil out the engine, which is good because I don't have to worry about it rusting any more than what it has. A little cut down set of bars. I thought they were pretty cool. Somebody added a little crossover on here, which actually works out nice for my mat box. Well, so far I've made all my miles. I've got all the stickers here so far, so hopefully that keeps going. Starting tomorrow though, my girlfriend will be riding with me. She's going to ride on the back till Las Vegas at least. So she'll be with me about 5 days on the back. Everybody always asks me, you know, why do you carry like a big hammer like that? And I say, well, number one, it's like when I help my Harley friends out, if they're broke down, that's what I work on their bike with. Number 2 is on the last Cannonball, it proved its weight worth in gold because I ended up with a flat tire, and so I had to change my tube out on the side of the road. And when you're driving an axle out to get the wheel off, a hammer is a must. Otherwise, you're using a rock or something and a punch, and you're liable to break your finger or something. So you don't really use it that often, but when you do, it's worth its weight in gold.
may never get back here again.
Wild.
I'm doing good, man. How you doing? We're in beautiful Pratt, Kansas, Cultural Center of South Central Kansas. My name's Terry Richardson. I'm number 101, but I ain't going this year. I've got tested with a little bit of cancer and not in any shape to ride, so I figured we'd just put a little feed on. Hi, Brucey.
How you doing, sir?
Good. I wanted to see everybody, you know, just in case it don't work out like I think it's gonna. I sent a guy on my 30 and had trouble with it and had to quit in Wichita. But we've had, it's tough, you know it's tough. I've done 6 total of these. You never prepare enough, you never, you know, if you ride too much and break something, you say, well, if I wouldn't have been riding it around pre-race, I would have had it for this, blah, blah, blah. You just get on and go. And these people, my God, you know what kind of people they are around here. I just love them all. My compadre right here. He's my far-off friend.
That's my good buddy. We fight like brothers.
Yeah.
If the neighbor kid throws the rocks at us, we'll go beat his ass.
We can make fun of each other, but we don't want anybody making fun of us. Yeah. I was afraid they wasn't going to come, but they did. So I'm just glad they came. Thanks for coming out and visiting on the Cannonball. This is quite a mix of people, and what a day. It's just been great. Just love it. Thank you all for coming.
Terry, man, thanks so much, dude. The first pulled pork of the whole event, dude. I'm stoked, man. Thank you. This is good. But yeah, it's cold, dude. I can't handle the cold.
How's the bike running in the cold?
Excellent. Running hard.
You know we're gonna cook in a little while, so it's nice when it's cool.
I am David Baird.
We pulled a transmission bolt stud out of the bottom, and so helicoil in it. It's the easiest way to do it, or pull the whole transmission, and that entails a couple hours worth of work to get it in and out. So this was the easy fix.
This is the first motorcycle to have reverse.
Oh, yeah, okay.
In Spearfish. So it's starting to get down there, so I figured it's better now than later.
Yeah, I mean,
Preventative, and it doesn't have to get on the trailer.
That's Big Tom. He's been on the road with us. He did a tour in Colorado. Then for his 51st Sturgis, we took him to all of his favorite spots in Sturgis this year. We spread half of them in Spearfish Canyon. We're taking him on the Cannonball with us this year, and next year we will spread the rest of them in Spearfish next year. So his last world tour.
We're good. Yeah, we're good now. Straight back. Oh, she's fast.
My name is Jonas Zahn from Peg Leg Speed Shop in Beaver Dam, Wisconsin, and today we are in Garden City, Kansas on Motorcycle Cannonball 2023. Since last Sunday, Cannonball's been fantastic. That's when we picked up this bike at Dale's Wheels Through Time. Today's run in particular, I would say it was a little wet, but not too wet in the morning, and then lots of long and straight fast roads in the afternoon, but we did get a break from the freeway to see some nice Kansas countryside. It was a pretty nice ride today. There's good things to see in Kansas, but there's better things coming, right? The roads are going to get shorter and twistier as we get into Colorado, I think, and we get into Utah. There's some beautiful scenery. You know, a lot like when we came through Branson, Missouri area. I mean, we were cutting up. It was like riding a roller coaster. It was so much fun on a motorcycle on those kinds of roads. Long and straight on the slab, you know, versus town road, it isn't a whole lot different. I do like the town road where you can slow down for a little while. But I think you know, Jason and the team did a good job planning it, because we had a good chunk of freeway in the morning, and we got a break from it for a good hour. Then we got back on the freeway to get to where we needed to be today. Two things I've always loved since a little kid is vintage motorcycles and motorcycling in general, and I love, you know, adventure touring. I wouldn't say I'm a sport tourer. I really like to just explore the country, see the small towns, see the countryside. So when you take these two things and put them together, I can't not try this, right? I have to try this. When you're on your own on an antique bike, you're always worried about what are you going to do when something happens, and how far away is AAA? With the Cannonball organization, not only do you got the sweep vehicle coming behind, so no matter where I break down, I know help is on the way within 30, 45 minutes tops. And then when we get back here to the parking lot, I've got help, like surrounded by help, and meeting people who have the same, you know, thinking, and like the same things has been a lot of fun as well. Made a lot of friends in just, 10 days now since Virginia Beach, so yeah. Special here, when we got into Dale's Wheels Through Time last Sunday, the idea was to fix the Moto Guzzi. And we got in the machine shop, about an hour into it, that wasn't gonna happen. So there's no way to fix the Moto Guzzi. So that was, I only had one day in of all of Cannonball, and I was in the van, and it was driving me nuts to be in the van. So I asked Matt, like, do you have anything that's at least rideable right now that's for sale? And, you know, because there's no such thing as Cannonball ready. You can't ask for that. It doesn't exist. And he said no. And as I walked away, got about 100 yards away, Matt shouted my name at the top of the song. He's like, Jonas, come back over here. So I came back over, and he said, I do have something. I've got an old 1937 UL. And I'm pretty sure I knew what that was, but I didn't even go look at it. I went to talk to my team. The team said, you know, we're in it for the whole run, whether you're on the road or not. So it's up to you, it's your money, but we're all behind you. So I went back, I had asked Matt where the bike was, I took a look at it in the museum, and my heart dropped, and I got butterflies, because this is the bike that my grandpa used to ride. Not the very bike, but this model of bike is the first Harley I fell in love with by looking at his photo albums. So I had to have it. And by Monday morning at 7, I was ready to ride Cannonball on a bike I've never ridden before. And 5 days in, this is my ride now, and I love it. There's a lot of parts on this bike that are unique to 1937 model year only. It is a flathead, so when it rides and it sounds smooth. It doesn't bark like your typical Harley does. It's what Harley-Davidson built this motor from, I think, around 1930 well into the mid-70s, but they use it on all the military bikes, they use it on police bikes because it's simple and it's reliable. So really with this bike, it's almost like riding a modern motorcycle, but it's still 85 years old. It's 1937, but I don't have to worry about nearly as many things as I do with other motorcycles of the same vintage. I get to just focus on riding this bike.
I'm going to check my timing because it was running a little rough today, so I want to see if the timing's okay. My plugs were running a little rich, so they had some soot on them. So I'm cleaning those off. I don't know if it was bad gas or what it was, but then we'll have a beer.
Victory.
Well, right now I'm going through a lot, really. We didn't get a lot of shakedown miles before we came here, so we're getting pretty much shook to death while we're trying to make miles here. Thought we had everything squared away yesterday, and then we were riding down the road today, and one of my rocker towers mysteriously broke itself off the top of my engine. No rhyme or reason to it, so we're here shaking it out again, putting new parts on, see what we can come up with.
What are the last things you look at before your departure on a bike like this?
Well, as I'm getting ready to launch out of the gate, the first thing I want to do is make sure your oil's on. That's number one and paramount, because that's a kiss of death if you have no oil. So that's the first thing we do, and then get the fuel on, and then once that's on, we're pretty much ready to go. Just get on it, pedal it, warm it up good. It was a little cool today. It was in the low 50s, so we warmed the bike up good before, and we'll get it warmed up here before we launch. You notice I'm carrying extra fuel today, extra canisters of fuel, because if you're in the middle of nowhere with no fuel, you are SOL, baby.
What's up, JJ?
How's your run going, man?
Hey, it's been running pretty good. Not too many concerns. Today's going to be interesting. A little less fuel, but I got a big tank, so I'm ready for the next day. I want to see Monarch Pass.
Nice and cool today, dude. We should be making some horsepower. Couldn't leave well enough alone, dude, and I bumped it back up to the high compression for the hills. Changed the piston. I did a caveman machine shop job in the parking lot. Used a grinder in the asphalt to clean up my piston, dude. So we're back to the high compression again. We'll see what happens. You gotta make sure you zero your odometer for sure. Make sure you're full of fuel. Make sure you're full of oil. And just kind of, the big problem is doing all these, what they call emergency changes to the map. You gotta write all this stuff on the map with your Sharpie and change it. And make sure you don't screw it up and get lost. That's the big thing. You don't want to get lost.
Victory line beyond your
Let's go.
Let's hope so. We're somewhere in Kansas, and we're headed to Colorado Springs.
Yeah,
It's gonna be a great day. I don't know what to expect anymore. Just try and take it minute by minute at this point.
That's about it.
That's about it.
Yeah, all right.
1 minute, class break. 1 minute.
We're starting at about 3,000 feet this morning, making our way up to about 6,500 feet, just a small climb. As we're getting farther and farther west, one of the things that they're having to deal with is fuel issues. You know, today is one of our longest days in between fuel runs at about 110 miles, and it's going to be a challenge for some of these guys.
Yesterday we had some issues with the primary chain, but we got a new one today, so we hope to ride safe and smooth.
That's a nice touch.
Thank you.
Well, there's not many corners, and I suppose you just cruise along and just look at those miles going down for the day and thinking, yeah, it's got its own sort of beat to it, these long straight roads, haven't they? You're sort of in your own space, and it's very interesting when you go through there. You don't see any cultivation or livestock. It's just space. It's just space.
Yeah, so the roads across Kansas are, of course, flat as a pancake, straight as an arrow, and I like it. There's hardly no trees out here, but as soon as we make this turn off in Lamar, we're heading towards Colorado Springs, and it starts to get better and better, and then after Colorado Springs, it gets really good. And when you ride with yourself alone, the world is your palette. But when you ride with friends, you bring the party with you.
How'd it go? You're holding up?
Running great today, you know, keep my fingers crossed. We'll see. Usually these lunch stops are what get me.
The curse of
What are you doing out here?
Beautiful day in the neighborhood, huh?
Just thought you'd come out here in the middle of nowhere and check things out?
Absolutely. Thought I could make my next stop, and I still have some gas in the tank, but didn't make it.
Okay, so you're just making a refuel stop?
Yeah.
Right on. Look at the views.
I know, it's beautiful out here, isn't it?
It is, it's like a sea.
Man, I'll tell you what, look at the clouds, look at the sky, man. There ain't a cloud in the sky. It's just, all you can see is what you can see. The next stop is 158 or 160. I think we're at 158 right now. And just didn't make those last 2 miles.
Right.
But that's why I got a reserve.
Just gas?
Just gas. You couldn't ask for this day to be any better. It's so beautiful out here.
Oh, long. Finally the roads are getting a little lonely. It's nice.
Yeah. Really enjoying it. Bumps aren't so bad. You know? Let's see what we got going now. Should be able to be right out of here.
Hey, I'm Brian. This is number 181. This is a 26 Harley Davidson JD, and it was built at my shop, Departure Bike Works in Richmond, Virginia. And I come from Virginia, not 2 hours from the starting line. Riding cross country on 100-year-old machines with 77 of my friends. You know, what could go wrong? I traded him a shovelhead motorcycle and some cash for the bits and pieces. The front end was all twisted up. I traded a fender for it, like a nice 48 panhead fender from my buddy Josh, and started putting it all together. And you know, the sheet metal's repop, but the motor, we put the hot rod stuff in it. We got the Corilla rods, Rob Nussbaum's valve pockets, all the fun stuff. It's not for the purists, okay? It's not for them to look at. That's just a Moon Eyes chopper oil tank. I plumbed it in so that I've got the Pingle sponsored me. I got these Pingle guzzler valves, and there's a little fuel log down here. So this reserve tank runs to a fuel log, and my 2 tanks tie into this fuel log also. So this will be my fuel on. And when I'm cruising down the road and feeling like I need a little more juice, I just reach back there and give myself a reserve, you know what I mean? So some of the gas stops are 60 miles apart, and maybe even more, like 80 in some spots. So these tanks are like a little over 1.5 gallons, so there's not enough in there to keep us going that far. And so we got a little extra we're going the distance on the Cannonball. A lot of times these spots are closed out in the middle of the country, or they're a mom and pop spot. You maybe don't want to get fuel from them, you know, if it's kind of like questionable, I just keep on going. Made it to look like a VL, so that's supposed to mimic a VL dash. Got the little dice on there. Got my 6-volt side, my 12-volt side. 12-volt is here. I've got a drill battery that goes in there. It just plugs right in. Gotcha. And then I can operate, you know, the fun stuff. 6-volt sides for my ignition.
Okay.
It says highly modified. We got a performance machine. This is a repop of the old single piston. It's actually a 4-piston caliper, and modified the brake hanger so that I could have adjustability at the rear wheel. The brake hanger moves with the wheel and the frame. So that was not anything I came up with. You know, a bunch of guys out here have their disc brake mod. I was on the side of the road yesterday. I had a bee fly up my sleeve, and you know, it was really fun. It bit me on the arm and then the back, and I had to strip down on the side of the road, and I was banging my jacket on the ground trying to get it out of there, so that was pretty funny. And people were driving by looking at me like I had third eyeball, so that was an adventure for sure. Really cool that, you know, we're going so slow. I say slow, but 40, 45, 50, and you can really kind of take it all in when you're not, you know, there's a lot to do here. So we're, you know, constantly listening to the engine, figuring out what our shifts are going to be, and, you know, checking our oil at every stop. So, you know, you're pretty busy, but it does give you a chance to take it all in. And it's a beautiful country that we live in, and I feel blessed to be here and be able to do this, man. It's a dream come true, you know.
Feels good. Clutch is sticking a little bit, so I didn't have first gear for pretty much all the lights. What are you gonna do? This is the first complete stage I've made every mile. So I'm gonna celebrate tonight. I'm doing great now.
I'm going to send this right to John. Well, we made her. Another leg, another day in the life of the Cannonball. You're walking, all that stuff. Good deal. Finally made it, man. Milwaukee, all day. Oh, dude, WFO, all day. WFO, the whole day, dude, and it had no power.
Right on. 30 miles is the real monthly speed.
Sweet, boy. The roughest damn road. I don't know.
Yeah, you are swimming. You lost weight?
Well, you want to get my grandson?
I just want to be with you. I see someone.
Say hi.
Hi.
How old are you?
Hi.
It was awesome. It was cool coming into Colorado Springs, getting to see the Rockies. Like that's the view right there, right? Try not to go too hard on it. I built the motor, so, you know, typically the engine builder doesn't like to twist up on the throttle.
It's been a really great day here. We started out this morning having a Hall of Fame induction here at our museum. The museum was founded in 1992. That's when we did our first Hall of Fame induction. Since then we've done 5 or 6. Today was a really good one. We put 9 more people into the Hall of Fame. Then 2 o'clock we closed down the street. About 2:30 the Cannonball bikes started rolling in, and the street's been packed since, and it was a really great day for antique bikes here in Colorado Springs. The crown jewel of the museum is this 1956 panhead. This is called John Dee's Cherry Pepper. This is an original unrestored machine, has not been touched. The man wrote it from 1956 to 1959, and it went in storage in a climate-controlled, no UV light. This bike has the only set of original red saddlebags that we know about. They made these for 1 year in red and blue, and we've never seen a surviving set, and this set is just absolutely perfect. It was originally sold in Pueblo, Colorado. It was featured on the AMCA calendar here, and also on the cover of the AMCA magazine. And as if this bike weren't enough, all of this stuff here came with the machine. So we have John's leathers, his helmets, goggles, all of his correspondence with the dealers, all of his registrations, his license plates, photos with his family, and then he had all of the lubricants and touch-up paint and accessories, and all of this we got with the bike. And you see the tag there. Now, those are water slide decals. Those never lasted. They always came off the first time you washed the bike, and this one is really perfect. So this is probably the machine that we're most proud of, and by all accounts, and not just mine, but others, this is the best preserved, nicest, original rigid panhead on the planet. So for all you cannonballers, you know, mad respect for the dedication, okay, to cross the country and be on schedule and be on time, the weather, you know, all of that. I mean, this takes a really special person to be a cannonballer. I wouldn't do it, okay? I wouldn't do it. There's got to be something in you to do it. Got to be in your blood, okay? And I love riding motorcycles, but I would not beat myself up that way, okay? So all of y'all, you know, mad respect.
gas station in town. Everybody's gonna stop at the same station with like 4 pumps. No, you can't even use a credit card. So that's for the show.
Fun though. These are a lot of fun. Because you can pump and then go in and pay. They trust everybody. It's Kansas. Friendly. Gave me 8 cents because I didn't have the 8 cents. Broke a $100 bill and was happy to do it. I said, you made my day. He says, well, that's what I'm here for.
Yeah, Red X here. First fuel stop. I filled my oil tank up with gas. And it was a chocolate mess. But I was able to clean up the mess, get back on the road, get all my miles, and live to tell the story.
He's on the road again. Powered by stickers, ready to go.
Heading up in elevation.
Yeah, over Monarch Pass. So a little chilly. We're gonna stop, have a snowball fight.
Yeah.
Now with your carbs, are you guys running, you aren't running Mikunis or anything.
Got
Can you
Linkers on
adjust
here.
those on the fly? Tell me about that.
It's a Linker at M51, and the high-speed needle here is going to be turning it in, is going to lean the mixture out at the high speed. So you want to turn it in as you go up, and don't forget to turn it back out when you come back down the mountain.
try it and see what happens. And it dies, dude. It's fucking real. I wonder how far that gas station went. Let me check. No, the intake's not moving.
No, it just rotated again. What part ain't moving?
You got no intake.
Nothing at the cam. Nothing at the cam.
Stuck. It's stuck.
Oh.
Stuck now. Yeah, it broke that spring.
Probably the hardest part of the journey so far. Coming up this pass to 11,000 feet, leaning the carburetor the whole way. Second gear, 30 miles an hour is all I could get coming up this hill. There you go. But it's all downhill from here. Here we go. There we go.
Yeah, we're in the carburetor.
That's a bike I didn't know was going to make it.
We do two of these, a couple of these for sake.
Here at Monarch Pass, really at the tail end of everybody. Wondering what's happening. We only probably got one or two motorcycles. One of them happens to be the person that's in the lead, Todd Cameron. Haven't seen him yet. I know he's been struggling all day since we got over Skyline Drive. Hearing words that he's limping along. I'm anxious to see if he's going to come up this thing pedaling or if we're going to get a call to have to go back down the hill and get him.
Up and down, rain, shine, we got it all today, didn't we? Oh, she just sat right there in second gear and just took all the way to the top. It wouldn't pull it in third, but it was real easy on it in second. So, well, I guess that's what we're gonna do today. Very uneventful. A stress-free ride other than a little rain, but that's what you get, right?
Slick in places, wasn't it? Fun trip the whole day long. So, a little wet dirt times, but other than that, not too bad.
About 100 yards before the exit.
Yeah.
My lane got a little sticky. I was trying to get up out of it. I just decided to slide up underneath you a little bit. We kept her upright.
Great up the hills. Just needed to adjust the fuel mixture a little bit. Just pulled right up the hills. I even passed TJ today. The descent in the construction in the mud was hard because it just had to be slow. Everybody was slow and we all had to be patient. But otherwise, once it opened up a little bit on the pavement, the descents are great. I just left it in third gear, kind of let engine brake all the way down, and it was perfect. And I kept it under 50 today, mostly.
I don't know how, dude. Miracle. I can't believe I made it. I can't believe it. Oh.
I saw you on the side of the road.
I dropped a valve, or didn't drop, I stuck a valve. Luckily, I had an extra valve, dude, but that was tough. And I must have changed the gear 20 times, dude. And I paddled. It would go 20. Luckily, Mark was breaking some wind for me, dude, but it would hit 20, just bog, no power, and just pedal. I want to go back to Kansas. I like Kansas a lot better. I don't like Colorado. I had my altitude on there, and I just kept counting. I said, I'm looking for 11,300, dude. And then because you couldn't see the top of it. Finally, 10,000, 10,500, 11. I'm like, oh, only 1,000 more feet. And then when I saw what was it, 11,000? I was stoked, dude. I could see the top 300. So I stopped at the top, because then it was downhill, right? I could only go 21 miles an hour with that hill climb gear. Change the gear back, boom. And then we get stuck in construction. Dirt roads. I'm done, dude. I'm done. I want to go back to Kansas. This hill climb you can have.
I'm Cole Deister. This is a 1930 VL with a 33 motor, so it's listed as 33, and I'm rider number 130. Frame, the forks are 30, fenders are 30, but it has a 33 motor. I got a 1930 had dual headlights, and there is a bike here with the dual headlights hopefully we can find, but they're very expensive, and so I put a tractor light on mine and took the dual headlights off. And this bike, it's got aluminum heads, and there's a couple of stories out on where these heads originated from. One is that Harley made them in 1935 and put them on a few bikes, or they made them, they didn't show an increase in performance enough to justify the cost. It was still just after the Depression, so cost was huge. So they never went into production. Supposedly there's maybe 100 sets of these out there. I happen to be lucky and have 2 sets. Back in the 40s, when they were building sprint cars, little midget racers, mainly out in the West Coast, and they'd put in the 45 motors, which were all World War II surplus in them. The guy that was building the kits made a couple of kits for the bigger motor, which is 74 cubic inch, and he made these heads, which, so, I don't know. I just know they increase the compression and they help cool, and everybody looking at them wants them. I think there's 3 stoplights before we get here, and I didn't make them all because my shifter broke. Oh yeah, so my shifter broke, so now I got a beater. Because it's a later motor, it's got what's called a V intake. You can probably see it a little better on the other side. Harley did come out with that in 33. They call it the TNT motor. And the V intake versus a straight across, which we could probably find one with it, that was worth 8 horsepower in 1933, and that's a lot because you only got like 38 horsepower total. That's a Harley sales pitch. Who knows? When we were in Pratt, Kansas a couple days ago, Terry Richardson, good friend of mine, and he's got cancer, and he had cancer a while back, but kind of recovered, and we decided he wanted to do one more Cannonball. He wanted to ride VLs. So that's why TR had a VL ready, I had a VL, and my buddy Pat Patterson had a VL. We were all gonna ride together. So he didn't get to make it, but me and Pat continuing on.
My name is Shannon Haling, number 117, 1924 Harley-Davidson J model. It's kind of like the Johnny Cash special a little bit, one piece at a time, I guess. But so it's not really all original, but the motor's a 1924. There's elements of 1924 here, but the front end is a little heavier duty on this one. We did upgrade the wheels on this one too, because a lot of the original rims and stuff, they don't hold up quite as well. So, and driving that many miles across the United States and the potholes and everything else, and so it's built to be a runner for Cannonball. All of our team does have frogs. So these frogs actually, I'll open it up here, hold a spark plug. I did have 2 of them, but then Kirsten's bike looks just like mine, and I was in the shop and mine fell off. I had 2 of them, and I put it on her bike accidentally. So now she has 2 frogs. Front of here, when Doc built it, he had this eagle, and it was just kind of a neat eagle, and we thought, why not?
My name is Kirsten Haling. I am number 53, and this is my 1922 Harley-Davidson J model. Once you get bit by the Cannonball bug, it's hard to quit. In 2016, my dad did his first Cannonball, and I participated with him as crew. And the following year, I definitely wanted to ride my own and do my own cannonballs. So 18 was my first year. We went from Portland, Maine to Portland, Oregon. Got every single mile, perfect score, and I placed first in my class. And then in 2021, my husband joined us. We had a 3-bike team. Went from Sault Ste. Marie to Myrtle Beach, down to South Padre. Got a perfect score again and won my class the second time. Once you start, you can't stop. I mean, there's a lot of creature comfort. So I have my windshield, and we have engine guard that my dad built to put on there so that I have a place to put my feet up, which really helps a lot for those long days. It also helps to cool the engine down because I can get my leg up out of the way and actually direct that cool air into the engine area. It still doesn't have a charging system. It just has a little battery underneath here that runs all that. But a few things to make it more cannonball ready. My grandma Doris was born in 1921, and she's no longer with us. So my motorcycle being in 1922 kind of reminds me of my grandma. So she has a nickname, and her name is Granny.
We are really close to the San Juan Mountains. The Telluride is really close. We also have a great airport here. It's growing tremendously. We've actually just expanded our airport, which is awesome. We're only 2 hours away from Moab, but we're only an hour and a half away from Telluride, so you can go to the desert or you can go and ski. I've seen motorcycles here in Montrose, but this is pretty incredible. I know that our community was super excited about this event though, so we obviously do have a motorcycle culture in Montrose. Thank you, Cannonballers, for coming out to Montrose. We are truly honored that you guys chose our city to come here and be one of the stops. So thank you.
going to 11, dude. Can't do it. I see most of these blokes, all their gears, all they got is a 10, dude. But me, where did I hide it? There it is, there it is. Most of them, see, they only got a 10. But dude, this one's one better. This one goes to 11. That thing's killer, man. That's a hot ticket, dude. Most people, they can only go to 10, but this I can turn to 11, dude, and I'll make it right up the hill. Watch.
Have you gone to 8, 9? What are you going
No,
to?
I'm going to 11, dude. We're full on, 11. That's the money right there.
Look at that. It's a
one better than everybody else, dude. One better.
beautiful.
Look at that. You want a picture together, Mark? JJ, take us our picture.
Look at those dudes.
Thanks, JJ.
Dudes rock.
All right, ready to roll? Almost. Let me check my situation here. Make sure my 11 is solid, dude. See, my poor Mark's got a Norton. He can only go to 10, dude. Mine
You can only go to 10?
10 what?
You're gearing. He can only go to 10.
do 10 mile an hour with him.
Epic. Todd's not giving up. He went to 11.
Oh, yeah?
He has a little sprocket at 11.
It's pretty good. This is the most amazing place I've ever been on a motorcycle. Maybe the most amazing place I've ever been without a motorcycle. We're on the clock, you know, so we got to make our miles, but I think they padded some time in today for us to pull over and take a look. I usually don't take a lunch anyway, so I got a bag of beef jerky in here ready to rock. So
yeah,
I was with some guys and I was like, screw it, let them go. Let's
talk about that for a second. You don't have much, I don't think people understand, you don't have much time to see anything. Why do you not stop?
Yeah, so you're constantly thinking about what could come next. You know, if I pop a tube and have to pull over and change an inner tube on the side of the road, that's gonna cost me some time. So, you know, but some things are just too perfect to not stop and take a look. Ever, dude. So killer. So sick.
Yeah, Cole had told me about this road and I'd never been here. And living in Colorado for 40 years, it's hard to believe I never came done this road.
What? You work too much, mister.
I know it. I went by here 500 times and never stopped. What's up, JJ?
It's nice to catch you guys here checking out the view.
Yeah,
Not
man.
working on bikes.
No, we're just taking a breather and taking it all in today.
How's that look out there?
Oh, it's amazing. Yeah.
Did you like that?
Heck yeah.
Beautiful.
You know,
Beautiful.
where I live, they don't have this stuff. This is great.
Where are you out of?
Kansas.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. It's always nice to have something to see out riding around.
Yeah,
besides corn.
This is awesome. Beautiful ride, beautiful temperature, everything. Couldn't be better.
Yeah, we didn't want to race through the park. We figured we'd just take our time, and Jason gave us plenty of time to get in today. So, yeah.
Andy Devine, rider number 103. We're running a 1917 Power Plus, and the team is based out of Bone Steel, South Dakota. Good bike for the Cannonball because it's pretty simple, pretty reliable. We have made some outstanding race modifications to it. Seat that we had custom built in the pits on the second night because we realized we needed a better seat. It's $18 at Walmart. I will be building these at Sturgis this year. We'll have a tent set up. It's $18 if you use our toilet lid. If you bring your own seat, then we'll just talk about it. It's $8 for labor. So get there early. We don't have a lot of time. We're only there for 10 days. After we put the seat on, it actually raised the rider up a little bit, and I was hitting this bar, so we had to build a backrest for creature comfort. The left sandal got sacrificed. Seemed like a smart choice. We were up in the air. Do we go with the right sandal, the left sandal? And we ended up going with the left. We think it was a pretty solid choice. It's been running good for us. We haven't had any problems with it. The right one, you know, we looked at it. It just didn't seem like a good fit for us at all. So made a decision. The crew said we'll go this way. I went that way. Seemed to work. We're pretty excited about that. Our gas caps were leaking, so we stopped at an old farmer's market and stole these out of his moonshine jug. They seem to work pretty good. Plus, when they start to come apart, which they are, at least all the stuff floats in the gas tank, so it's not plugging the carburetor. I don't even know who put that on there. Did we put that on, or did somebody walk by and just stab the nut on our shift handle for us? So, and then we took the exhaust off just for something to do. And I don't know anything about antique motorcycles. This is the first one I've ever owned. And actually, when I did the Cannonball in 21, I had never heard another antique motorcycle run besides mine. So when I got to the Cannonball and the guy next to me started it, it was a big relief. I was like, oh, mine sounds like that. We should be good. I went to Mecum auction, and I was just going to buy a Cannonball bike. I thought that would cut the learning curve. It'd be so much easier. That's just, you know, well, this bike come up, and a couple guys that knew what I wanted to do said, hey, that'd be a good Cannonball bike for you. I bought it. It come from South Africa, from a collector there, and I managed to track the guy down, and he started building not a Cannonball bike, but a riding bike. So I took the motor all apart. He did a good job putting the bottom end together. I ended up putting the top end and did most of the machine work with the guy that helped me do it. But we built everything on the bike. We didn't send anything out. We've done it all in-house. Me and a couple of my buddies. So pretty homegrown race team for that part. Got into the Cannonball in 21 and realized I was in over my head something fierce. Oh man, it's not a learning curve, it's a learning brick wall that you just run right into. Didn't have as much fun as we wanted to have. We're just here to have fun, and it wasn't fun. It was working on it every night. We weren't prepped, we had the wrong parts, we had the wrong chase vehicle, but we struggled through it. And I thought it was going to be a one and done deal, and it wasn't. And the wife was like, one more. So hopefully it's a two and done. We'll find out. But some of the things that you should do is like our bearings. You should actually change the wheel bearings out to a sealed bearing. We're still running the old cup and ball style bearings. So we have to set the preload every 500 miles. We got to pull them apart and grease them, reset the preload. We're still running a stock brake setup. You're allowed to modify your brakes. We're not. We're still running some asbestos wrapped around a drum, which it's actually working pretty good now because we've burned through the asbestos and the rivets grab a lot better than the actual braking material. So it's a little grabby, but it is working. So yeah, we're running stock bearings, stock brakes. We didn't really modify any of that. We don't run an auxiliary fuel tank. We're not even running, we're just running Rotella. We just run Rotella 1540 motor oil. We don't have any special motor oil that we're running. We pick this up at wherever we need it. In 17, from what I gather, now somebody will probably fact check me, and that's great, but from what I gather, in 17, this was the last setup for this bar style and this linkage. After that, in 1918, they went to a cable setup. They got rid of all this, and I can only imagine at the factory, they're like, you know what, we're getting too many letters about this linkage. Let's just go to the cables and make it easier, because all of this, you know, you move one thing and everything comes out of adjustment. So you got both of these with bell cranks, and then there's like 3 sets of U-joints inside the bars that we had to pull apart and oil and put them back together. So that's kind of unique on a 17. Those are custom. Yeah, we had the Napa Corporation send us those. I'm not sponsored by them, but if they want to, we surely could. Carburetor that come on it was a Schleubler, but Kevin Nazer, who's run many Cannonballs, said you do not want to run that carburetor. It'll break internally and lean the motor out and ruin it. But as you can see, the linkage is backwards, so we made this little plate here to swap the linkage from side to side, and I guess it works. It's not really that good, but it works. It was what we had, you know. We just kind of do with what we have. We probably could do it better if we really wanted to, but that's not really what we're after. We're just trying to make it work. This is parts we had. You know, we had a mud flap off of a dump truck. That's what we made our fender out of. The internals for the headlight we stole out of a Polaris Ranger. So that's kind of how we run it. You know, we're still running clinchers for tires. We run those. That's actually, the front is an original rim. The back is not. We ended up changing out and but we went with clinchers. And I did have a flat, and they're right. When you have a flat on a clincher, boy, she's a ride. You can do it, man. You can run clinchers. You can run stock bearings. You can go get you an old motorcycle, drag her out, and have a heck of a lot of fun with it.
So I just put on the 42 tooth to give me a little extra power getting up them hills. I know we got some more hills coming up. I can also adjust my brakes while I have this off, and all my regular maintenance is done. This was the last thing I got to do tonight, so give me another hour, I should be ready to go for tomorrow. So this is a 1923 JD, and it's kind of primitive, but it works. It's a mechanical brake, and it's a drum, a smooth drum, and these are your 2 brake linings that are a fiber material, and when you apply the brake, it pulls this lever which tightens the brake material onto the drum, and that's your brake. It's 2 pieces. You got 1 and 2. So again, it's very primitive, but it works excellent. I've had no problem with braking. You just have to keep the brake rod adjusted properly, and you can make your adjustments here with this clevis with the exposed threads and the lock nut. So far so good. Spectacular ride through the Monument Park there. It was really cool. So we got in good shape. A lot of traffic on 191 and the interstate, but as a whole, no issues. Just general service work, changed oil, 1 belt, 1 legging today. This is how you do it over here. You pull the lever back, which engages the tension of the belt on the tensioner on the bottom. The tensioner right there. So tomorrow we got a big day, 299 miles. We're out of here pretty early. We're going to Kanab, Utah. And believe it or not, tomorrow is my birthday. I will be 70 years old. Neither do I.
Morning, everybody. We are okay. We are full of energy, ready for this big road we have to do today. But I was told it's an amazing place. We across so beautiful areas, and I can't wait to see.
It looks like a great ride. My bike is running really good. Well, from about a mile up the road anyway, from the motel. Everything's looking good. And I'm really looking forward to another great ride.
Cosmetics, dude, cosmetics. I gotta have it to be legal, right?
Right. Yeah.
I get to California, let's write me a ticket. One kick Indian? Let's see.
Got some health food and some junk food, so it all balances out.
Well, you're doing a little bit. You got the jerky and the pickle.
I leave beef jerky, pickles, cheese, hanging in there.
I'm just having some coffee, a little caffeine, a little heat in the tummy. There you go.
You hear about that 181 guy? He's a ringer. They paid him to come out here. Get in everybody's head.
Yesterday, that one going through
into Moab. From the time just before we jumped on that Interstate 70, all the way to there, I ran across one cannonball. And it's like just, you're out there for an hour and not see another. And you're wondering, did I make a wrong turn, you know?
My name is Bob Fuller. Run 1924 FD Harley. So far, pretty good. Had a couple days. We had brake issue. Had a car pull out in front of me. Had to slam on the brakes. Tore up most of the front end. 3 different cannonballers helped me get lever, cable, and the mechanism to make it work again. And got back on the road a day and a half later. It's a 74 FD, which is the first year of the 74 cubic inch motors. Original motor and tranny were together when I got it. Original main fork, original rear fender, and luggage rack.
Why do you cannonball?
I love it. It's an addiction. It's a bad habit. And a shout out to Newman, because he's not here no more, but it's got Numo nutrients. Keeps on going. Keep everything together. Keep everything tightened up and make sure everything's all in one piece. Yeah. Less is better. I'm carrying less than last time and getting along a lot better. I carried way too much last time, and I think that was a burden. The clothes I take off go in there after I get it warm, and that's it. Basic tools I need: 1 extra gallon of gas, and that's it. Bob Fuller, number 121. I'm from Humboldt, Illinois.
Well, I'm Brian Pease from Milton, Vermont, and this was my 5th cannonball and the 2nd one for this bike, which is a 1917 Henderson 3-speed. When you're riding it at speed, it just sounds like a sort of a hum. You know, it's more like a modern bike. I haven't actually ever had anybody else ride it, so I can hear what it sounds like. I called the bike Eclipse because we decided, Mark Hill and I decided to do it on a day of a partial solar eclipse of the sun in northern New York. We were sharing the sunglasses with the tourists that were around and so on. So yeah, that's what we'll call it. This is set up to be user-friendly when you're riding. It has speedometer and a tachometer, temperature, and the battery voltage all on the right here in the center, and then of course the long scroll sheet that you use to find the route, and a tachometer, a light switch, horn, high-low beams, kill switch to stop the engine, and a turn signal device. Back in the day, although this thing was rated as being capable of 70 miles an hour, and in fact this one will probably do it, there were no roads. I mean, unless you had your own track, or maybe you were in the middle of the city in the middle of the night or something where there was a paved road. Otherwise, you were going 35 miles an hour. The bike has what you would call cannonball wheels on it, which means modern rims, modern tires, heavy-duty spokes, and Honda brakes and hubs in the middle with sealed bearings, so that you actually have a chance of having them last. Of course, the original had no front brake. It never originally came with a side stand.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know the name of the genius who designed this thing, but it makes it so much easier to get on and off when you're an older person like me, because you just pull on the thing and you can just get right on, just like that. It didn't originally come with a Linkert carb, but it's the same vintage. It came with a lousy carb, actually. It's not the original Magneto, but it's the same idea. It's just that this is a sealed one that will actually work in the rain. Big Harley tractor seat on springs.
Backrest.
And the backrest, the boards. I got soft, cushy grips and a small windshield, which makes a huge difference on like neck strain and that kind of thing.
Yeah,
Which is actually from Walmart. Believe it or not, it was used as an ammo box. I bought it in the gun section. It's very cool. I saw somebody else do it, and I said, I got to have one. Where did it come from? And then it's got a 1 gallon backup gas tank inside. Yeah, that's a stock item. That's where I keep my license and the tape to put the scroll together and all the rest of that.
That's some essential.
This originally had this was an oil tank and had a pump, but it's non-functional on this. I've actually got gasoline, spare gas in that, because I don't have any of the original oiling system. This is actually more primitive than when it was built. Model T Ford sight glass down there.
Okay.
Where you can see the oil level right now. It's got a foot clutch, just like a car, just like a manual shift car. Although you could use it, you can use it as a hand if you want to. But I use, see, they're independent. And then the hand shift is here. Right now it's in neutral, and you just push it forward for first and second and third. Well, I almost made it to the end. I'm about 30 miles out. I'm pretty sure that we lost a front rod bearing, and that sort of hammered on the cylinder and pulled the bolts out, and you were stopped at that point. It's not going to get fixed here, so into the trailer and back home it goes. I've done 5 cannonballs and, let's see, I think 3 chases, which are the shorter runs on the in-between years, and I might do 1 more chase. I probably won't do another cannonball, most likely. I'll be too old. I gave the bike my best, and it just had a failure. And it was, I don't feel guilty about it. I didn't cause it. It just wore out. It's a failing of this type of engine. You go up hills, it starves the front bearing, and sooner or later it's going to fail. It's been a really good trip, and this was a really good cannonball. I can't believe all the different experiences that we've had. It's just a great 1917 Henderson. And I've enjoyed driving it across the country 1 3/4 times.
That's it. I couldn't ask for more. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm Vicki Sanfilippo. My friends call me Spitfire, and I'm the Executive Director of Accident Scene Management. We teach motorcyclists what to do at the scene of a crash until professional help arrives. I'm a registered nurse, and I wrote this program back in 1996. We've trained 40,000 people and have instructors in 4 countries. Going from Kanab, Utah to Henderson, Nevada. We're going to be in Arizona for a little bit, so we're hitting a few states. Really, I like the route revealing itself to me. That's part of the excitement of this. People are always asking me, what route are you taking? Where are you going? And I'm like, I have no idea. And it's such a drag when you make a wrong turn because it throws your mileage off. You know, you zero your odometer at the beginning of the day, and you're doing math all day long.
Last night I actually slept well, dude. I can't believe it. You did? Yeah, it was awesome. Okay. Yeah, I finished kind of early.
He's gonna need it today. They think we're out of the mountains, but I got a surprise for him every single day. Been my goal this year to really make you guys work. Everybody said, the route last time in 21 was too easy. I said, okay.
So you're stepping it up, huh? Jeez. Killing me, Sims. Killing me, Sims.
How is this? How's that look?
Fantastic.
Isn't it? Look
Turn
at
the
that.
lights on in the tunnel. That way nobody has a big wreck.
So the country boy goes to the city and
No.
says, look at all them tall
Look at all
buildings.
them tall buildings.
The city boy goes to the country, look at all them damn rocks.
Right, dude.
See, that's the cave up in the hills the Grateful Dead sing about.
Boy, it does look like a great place for a concert something to play up there.
Oh man, look at that. Oh man. We drove right past
Yeah.
it.
It was on the right.
The arches are neat if you haven't seen them for the first time, but this canyon's cool.
Very cool. Oh, I have George in the background.
I've been here 4 or 5 times and I still love it. Every single moment of it. I'm just soaking it all in.
Flat tire. Back on that interstate, I-15, there was a nice wide shoulder, and we rode the shoulder for that 12 miles or whatever. And the whole time I was thinking, like, this is how you get a flat tire. This is how you get a flat tire. You ride the shoulder, you pick up the debris. But in my mind, I was like, well, maybe getting a flat tire is better than getting ran over. But I should have just stayed on my lane instead of getting in the shoulder. Let the fun begin. Take the rear brake off and bust the chain, knock the axle out, and get the wheel out. Want help? It'll take a while.
What can I do for you?
Take this axle. Take the axle out.
All right.
Today was getting kind of boring anyhow.
Yeah.
You know?
What do you need? Dikes?
Diagonals and needle nose.
Just diagonals. Down here in the middle of nowhere, and I'm like, there's something wrong with my back wheel. We stopped. She's like, oh, it's flat.
Don't you hate it when your car breaks down?
Why do you carry a fucking hammer? Why? Why do you carry that? Well, for working on the JDs, number one.
Yeah.
Number
Okay.
two, for driving the axle out. Here, let me get a punch.
I'm just going to start it.
Okay.
Okay.
It'll fall down, but I know that it's the small fish mouth.
Is there any spacers or anything?
There's one on this side.
Get something to lay it on? You want waste
Here, right here.
I have a third one of them too, Bob. If you need it or you want those shorties.
This is what caused a flat tire.
That little sliver
Yeah,
shut
yeah.
you down?
Yeah. Tiny.
That's all it took.
That's all it took.
Party over.
Yeah. Yep.
It started out cold, started out beautiful, turned into a windstorm. Blowing like crazy. The highway ride was fighting the whole way, and then we got in the park, which was gorgeous, but it was hard to pay attention to it because you're getting blown all over, and tumbleweeds were rolling across the road, and the last thing you want to do is run one over because they have thorns in them. So you're like trying to avoid tumbleweeds literally flying in front of you. So it was fun either way, but still, it was very, very windy and very dry.
Hot, a lot of just that desert feel, you know. I wouldn't want to be left alone there, that's for sure. And going through the park earlier in the day, amazing. Yeah.
It was awesome. It was a beautiful day. We just cruised. We made it in, 15 minutes ahead before the deadline. So we just cruised and enjoyed it. It was a good day. It was fun. It was a nice day. It wasn't too hot. The Italians said it was too hot for them.
Oh.
Like, you just be creative.
Hi, I'm Cristiano Pelganta from Italy, Team Patina Garage. My motorcycle is a 1929 Harley Davidson J model JD, to be picky. My racing number is 107. 7 is my lucky number. I'm here to do the Cannonball motorcycle. Only one color at that time. Only with a special order was possible to have a different color, but was an expensive option, so very few. Normally only green. Before gray, in the 20s, from the last of 10s, and in the 20s, all green. Then they start at the beginning of 30 to do green and tan, just 2 colors. Riding in America was a great experience, especially riding my own motorcycle. Normally when you come from Italy, you rent. But traveling with your own motorcycles from Italy is a very, very nice and great, and makes me happy. Enjoy a lot of states, but my favorite one was the Zion, as the US people say. Red rocks and the shape and tunnels and corners, amazing, really. I do apologize with all US drivers across America, because we are Italians, you know, and our riding style is a little bit different. We get used to overtake everybody if we have space. In US, everybody is queuing, even with motorcycle. For us, so it's not possible. We don't care traffic light, we don't care so much the rules. So we are really sorry. We do apologize because sometimes people is complain, but most of times people is very kind with us. They understand we are riding 100-year-old motorcycles, so they let us go. They don't complain. They smile. So many thanks to all Americans. I didn't expect to be here with a perfect mileage, and I have very small issues. I had a hole in a tire, so I would like to thank Connor because is the reason because I have perfect mileage today. This is my 1929 JD. It's 1.2. Has a special, I don't know how I can name it anyway. It's like a little oil pump. Normally this motorcycle have the oil only by fall down. They don't have a recycle, they don't have a oil pump. But this is only 1 year, 1929, the last year of J model,
has this particular machine makes falling a glue of oil, you know, in the crankcase, so that helps a lot. Only 1 year for J model, 2 headlights, you know, it's particular. If you compare with the older models, they have only 1 in the middle. These have 2. Speedometer, the original one is missing. I didn't use it for the race because it's very expensive. They ask crazy money, something like 5,000, 6,000 euros. So it's safe at home, safe. But I don't have any modified. This is 100% original motorcycle. This son of a bitch has been really complicated to get in touch with. Very clever and super good system if you know it. I lost 1 or 2 or maybe 3 days to understand. The odometer has to match the miles here on the on the right column, you know. This is the mile you have to see always on your meter with the miles, so you have to match. If you don't match, it means you are wrong, and it's going to be a problem. You know, I'm confident with it, and so it's a very good system, very nice. It's very funny, ride with it. It's a lot better than the Google Maps. You know, in Italy we are superstitious, so tomorrow you don't know what is going to happen. Maybe tomorrow morning I'm done. So good girl, but not too good. So we're waiting for tomorrow.
There you go. Cool. Now I'm going to come up on the bike and
okay.
Point some, tell me.
Well, we're in Henderson, Nevada at the Sunset Station, and we're heading down to the Hoover Dam, over the Hoover Dam, and then down to Kingman, and then down to Oatman, and ending up in Lake Havasu tonight. I think it's about a couple 100-mile ride, and it's hot. Hopefully we don't have quite as much wind. Did a few minor tune-ups on things last night, just general service, oil, whatever. So if the wind stays away, it'll be good.
Team is ready. Do we know where we're headed today, guys?
We're heading to the dessert.
How many? How's he doing? Is he ready? Is he ready?
He's ready.
He looks like I had him studying the map over there right now. Got any tips for him? Headed out into the desert, right?
Go fast.
Here, just go left, go a little way, go right, and then go real fast. That's it.
Would you like to be out there?
Heck yeah. Out in the wind.
Yeah,
These are the boys that set the prairie afire, you know. All we like about 2 wheels and the wind in our face got started with these bikes. That's why they're so inspiring.
Good morning, man. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good luck, dude.
Thanks. I'm going to have some water in my cup holder. I'm going to take one of those tablets, and I'm going to have a full tank of gas so I don't have to get stuck out there.
Yeah, I saw there was two Portugal on this.
I know Kingman's high,
We're in Oatman, Arizona, and it's a pretty cool place. Little Wild West looking town here. Wild burros or donkeys right on the street here.
Making friends?
Yeah, holding up traffic, you know. Yeah.
Just stopped in to see the burros, have an ice cream.
Hey, my name's Alex Trepanier, rider number 109. I'm riding a 1912 Indian that was owned by my father. And we're in Palm Desert right now. We're one day out from finishing. It's been a crazy adventure. You know, seven perfect days. Dropped a valve, blew up the piston, flew back to California, got parts, came back, rebuilt it. Had 2 really crappy days, finally got it dialed in, ran all the miles today. This is a Cannonball. What happened in 1912? That's my favorite part. Come on, what happened in the biggest event that happened in 1912? No idea. He has no idea. The Titanic sank in 1912. So whenever people ask me about this bike, I say this bike's the same year as the Titanic sank. Riding this bike is pretty crazy. It's you know, it's not like riding my 4-cylinder. Last year I rode an Indian 4. It was like a Rolls Royce. This thing's rugged. It's crazy. I've had 6 blowouts. Gone off the road a couple times. You know, how I stayed on, how I didn't crash and die, I don't know. You know, it's just, I guess it wasn't my time. It's cool to whip around, and I think this little single is kind of fun because people don't realize how fast it goes. You know, so it's like when you least expect it, Alex on this big giant guy on a little tiny single, pop right past you, and it's all stock and original. And I'm not trying to you know, make people feel lesser who don't have stock and original bikes, because you got what you got and it is what it is. But original carburetor, original magneto, original piston inside, original cylinder valves, yada yada yada. Original handle grips, front end, original light, original horn. I'm running the original seat. Everybody likes to feel the seat. Oh my God, you're sitting on that thing across the country. You know, it's not very comfortable. It's a little bit springy. I'm running the original clincher tires. You know, there's no front brake. I got my little tiny rear brake in the back that's just super wonky. One of my favorite things on this bike, to be honest with you, is it has the original license plate that came with the bike. So this is a 1914 California fender plate, they call it. It's porcelain. And this is the first year plate for California. They did not have a license plate in California prior to 1914. Been in my family, like I said, it was my dad's. He purchased it in like 1961. So of all my Indians that I have, even though I have some cool bikes, this one's always like, you know, when you're sitting on it, I have this weird connection with my dad. And it's like I have a picture of me when I was probably about 3 years old sitting on this bike. We were out on a tour with my dad, and I have a picture of me and I'm sitting on this bike and I got this big grin. And little did I know that all these years later, after being that little kid sitting on that bike, I'm out here riding this thing across the United States. Not only the first time, but the second time. It is, and if I'm in the bike lane, a cop pulls me over, this is a bicycle. That thing making noise there, I don't know what you're talking about. Dude, you gotta get the balls. You gotta like do a side shot of the balls. It's definitely a fun event, but you know, you just want it to keep going, and unfortunately everything good comes to an end. Cannonball forever.
Cannonball forever.
It is.
Stage 14 here in Lake Havasu, Arizona. Finally getting to the west. Just a really killer day of riding today. A lot of just open roads where you're coming down a hill and you're looking 100 miles out there. You know, it really feels like we're making that charge out west to California.
It can't get any better than this. Like I thought Colorado National Monument was the best, and then I thought Zion was the best. Today coming through open was like on 66. We were like, oh,
on 66 was cool. That was cool.
Yeah, I mean everything was awesome.
Yeah, I'd like to go back and do that one again. So.
You just put in the miles every day and just enjoy the scenery every day. It's like these roads. I mean, it's awesome. It's been a great time. Laid back, just kind of ride along, have fun.
It was fun today. All the little twisties up by Oatman was a blast. I was just flying through those. I had a total fun time.
75 riders on bikes 90 years old or older, and they came all the way from Virginia heading to Oceanside, stopping in Havasu. Thanks to all the Cannonball Run riders for stopping in Lake Havasu. Come out and see us again. I'm Carrie with Gear Up Motorsports.
Bye. So I like the curvy roads and all that, but I also like foliage and like shade. And there's not a lot of that here. And tomorrow is going to be even less.
Well, when it rains out here, it's real cold and it stays cold. When it rains back in Florida, it's like the water's warm and you're dry before you get home.
My name's Carl Levinson out of San Diego, California. This is my 1927 Chief, rider number 169. It's my first official Cannonball. I tagged along the last one and just helped out where I could. I've done 2 chases so far. I was a rider on the first chase, my first chase in the Ozarks, and I was staff on the second one doing Route 66. I've had a ton of fun, seen a lot of cool stuff, been places I've never been. It was fun to go across the Monarch Pass, and that whole day in Colorado was awesome. It's a 1927 Big Chief. It's the last year of no front brake, and I decided to keep it that way. This thing is almost completely stock. It was at one point a 99 point bike, and I decided to take it all the way apart, get it ready for the Cannonball. So the things I changed are put a more modern magneto on there. I put a 40s carburetor on there from an Indian Chief, and I made the wheels drop center wheels. So 3 changes, and besides that, it's completely stock. So the band brake, which is the original style, they work not so great, so I added a short to the magneto, so I can do that by hand. I get zapped every time, but to do it again, I would probably add a front brake, but I wanted to go for as original as I could. Put a big motor sprocket on there. I've been cruising about 50, 52 miles an hour, just taking it easy. I had it all the way up to 70 the other day for fun. But it's a good, reliable bike. It's one of the 2 Chiefs on the ride here. Original speedometer. I have the amp gauge and the map box. The only creature comfort I added was I added a seat pad, thanks to Matt Miller. It was his idea, and it works out real good. Try to come in near the front, so that way if anything happens, like I got a flat tire the 2nd or 3rd day, and I had it off and changed in about 12 minutes. So once again, this is Connor, number 169, out of San Diego, California. This is my Big Chief. If you ride a Harley, you just hate your life. You ride an Indian, you're real happy.
We'll leave it right there at that. What, anything, creature comforts, what?
California.
California dream! Yoo-hoo!
feel
Why
really
does
good.
it feel good?
Dude, I accomplished the almost impossible, dude. This should have been, that little motor should have never made it over all those hills, dude. I don't know how it did or stayed alive, but I just kept patching it together and patching it together, you know? Yeah, feels good, dude. I'm blown away, dude. I can't believe, because everybody told me, nah, Alex, everybody, no, that's too old. It's a 3-bolt design. It'll never stay alive. It won't stay together. So I was determined. I tried it a year ago and it didn't do it. Third cannonball, third time's the charm, dude. 2 of them I failed on. 2 of them I broke crankshafts on. This one stayed together.
This is my 3rd cannonball. I got 13th first and I'm 2nd behind Todd today. And my message to the cannonballers is I totally enjoyed riding and meeting all you guys. You're a great bunch of folks. You know, go home, get your bike ready for the next one, do the homework. As you learn, you'll see.
Yep, that's where it is, dude. It's all preparation. Get it done ahead of time. It's Harley versus Indian, dude. Harley versus Indian.
Well, I guess I'm going home with the Harley. You might as well take that old Indian.
I'm taking the Indian. The Indian did it, dude.
Jeszcze Polska nie zginęła! Congratulations! Thank you!
It was incredible. Everything. Even those small bumps doesn't mean anything. It was experience of a lifetime. I couldn't ask for anything else.
Awesome. Congrats, dude. Congrats.
Thank you.
Got all of them. Every last one of them.
How many did you get?
I got them all. Hey! Oh, I got them. All of them. Yes, all of them.
Way to go, man.
And even a few extras because I got lost sometimes.
Class 5 I'm in, I'm number 1. So.
Do you have a highlight from the road?
Being with my wife. You know, being able to do it together, that was probably my highlight of the whole experience. The landscapes of the way we went through are amazing. Compared to the last Cannonball, the landscapes of this one it challenged you more than the previous one, I think. You know, between the desert and the mountains and you know, just going through all that, it was pretty amazing. So.
What an adventure! It feels good. Quite the accomplishment. All right.
Good job.
Thank you. Woo. 14 out of 17 of the stickers. So missed 2 days on repairs. One day I did end up on the trailer, but all in all, it was a success.
Pretty sure we ended up 3rd overall, and I believe we were the winner of the Class 2 division. I think, I'd have to, I don't want to be corrected on that, but I think that's how it goes. I don't know how all the handicap points. The crew gave us a good ride every morning. It was cleaned up. The little maintenance we had. We just ran our race, slow and steady, and it's nice because those are some pretty motorcycles. I like to watch them as they go by, and then I pass them at the gas station, and they go by again. I should get the record. I had to have been passed 1,000 times.
Yeah, bro. Feels awesome. Yeah, I'm glad to be here. Yeah, it was a tough journey to get here. I had a lot of help, and just glad to have made all the miles. That was huge. Getting to the starting line was the hardest part.
It feels fantastic. Finally made it. Did about 1/3 of the miles. Only aced 2 out of the 16 days. This has probably been the toughest 16 days of my entire life. A roller coaster, to say the least. It's a 1920 Harley J, full patina bike. We blew up 2 engines here, blew a cam chest up, multiple other failures, flat tires, you name it, it's happened to us on this trip. We broke down today on our last day, thinking we were gonna have a really good day. Made it about 1.5 miles, but we didn't let it get us down. We still pushed across the finish line today. Well, honestly, the thing I've learned the most is, you know, a lot about myself. This has really humbled me, and it's taught me that, you know, no matter what you're going through, there's a way through it or around it. You just need to persevere. I'm rider number 150. My name's Tyler Galetti, and this is my 1920 Harley J.